this is why everybody's like, why you don't like gaming on PC? You act like it's so difficult. I mean, it's so difficult, man. Because it just like the dumbest things don't work for stupid reasons. That's why. So I think we are live now. I just need to test. Um, do a mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let's see here, and then we can begin. It's not hard to fool me. Of course, you must update YouTube because you haven't updated YouTube on this device in 3 years. It was just working the other day. Like, what's good? What's good? What's going on, everybody? Um, we're about to start, but I wanted to kind of give you just 10 minutes into this shit. That is infuriating. I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what the show is going to be about. So there's a couple of things that we want to talk about here, and I didn't even fix the subject portion. That is so black of me. This sloppy. All right, get an Xbox and then push enter here. So I will never fuck with a PC. Never. Unless I'm doing some generic shit. That's all it gets is generic shit. What's new? I don't fucking open the fucking app. Thank you. That's all I'm asking you to do is open the app. Subject portion. That is so. All right, cool. It works. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to another edition of the No Filter podcast, man. So we are going to get started. There are a couple of things that we want to talk about. Um, the first thing I want to talk about is just these two subjects here. The first subject is I was thinking about getting an Xbox. And I know a lot of people are really wondering why the fuck would you get an Xbox as much of a pony as you are? Everybody knows that I'm a big ass pony. And I guess it makes you wonder why would I get an Xbox? You know, I'm being facetious and not really being serious. The point here is to get the X bots to come up in this bitch and tell me why should I get an Xbox? Because I know why I have a PlayStation. I get that. That's no problem. You know, I have a PlayStation for a myriad of reasons. One being, I don't know, games. Games is a really big, unique, high quality gaming experiences. And I can't just leave it. I can't just be general with the shit anymore because you know what's going to happen is we're going to get these X bots rolling up in this bitch talking about some. I like my games. I don't know what you like, but I like mine. That's fair enough. The problem here is that the type of games that I like, I want it to look like quality and not like Crossfire. You know, I want it to look like I paid $70 for it. I wanted to give me a really good experience. I wanted to really thoroughly entertain me, not suck my money. That's what I'm kind of looking for. And I don't understand why Xbox like their console. I just don't get it. So I was hoping if they could come in and provide to me the reasoning as to why they like their consoles. But you know what? The funny thing here is that I don't think they can. I don't think they can because this console war, especially on Twitter, is all about L's and W's of who's writing an argument. I don't. I rarely see an Xbot, like a full for sure Xbot, really play games like that. Most of the times, they go on the PlayStation, YouTube, and they zoom in on shit or compare pictures. Um, they compare pictures and see what looks better. I don't see them finishing games. Most of them have a very low gamer tag score. They're not really about it when it comes to gaming, but they are always knowledgeable on PlayStation shit. That is a paradox to me, man. Like, how you call yourself a gamer, but you don't game? Why are you here? So, if you're not going to come in and explain to me, Xbox, as to why you like your console, I'm going to explain it for you to the best of my ability because I don't know why you would like it. Look at all the shit that Microsoft claims, right? Look at all the shit Microsoft claims. If anybody want to jump in there, you can send an invite real quick and I'll get you in there. But look at all the shit that Microsoft claims that's in their system, that's on their ecosystem, and as a reason to buy it. We're not even going to bring up in any kind of great detail the acquisition. That's irrelevant because even if it was relevant, you're getting a game that you've always gotten before. Even if Microsoft had the balls to take it off of the platform, but you were always getting these games. So, what exactly do you like it for? I would say the online experience, right? But what online experience? If you're talking about Call of Duty or Destiny or Fortnite, and I remember what was it last year? You had to pay Xbox Live to play a free to play game. And further, or backwards, even still, you had to actually pay Xbox Live to watch Netflix. They didn't want you to even do that. So you can't be online. What could it be? Is it Gears of War? We're not going to talk about Metacritic either because Metacritic, you could always be subjective on Metacritic. You know, according to Metacritic, Halo is a complete game and there's no real problems in it. It's just fun, and you don't got to talk about the graphics. You don't have to talk about the co-op. You could just only talk about what they have available, so you won't, you know, embarrass the Microsoft with their reasoning and methodology of Halo, essentially. Now, I noticed that I've gotten a like on this space because I guess somebody really thought that I would ever get an Xbox. Knowing all of these things, what do you have to offer me, Microsoft, regarding buying your console? Is it Game Pass? If I'm not mistaken, Game Pass released a whole bunch of fucking duds. And the only ones that is coming from your studio would be that was of worth value would be Forza 5, but you know, with Forza 5, I mean, it wasn't a full-fledged one unless you really paid money for the game. Halo, never was a fan of Halo, and that's not even in its best form either. It's pretty mediocre for what they actually provide to you. And then you have Gears of War. And that's not like the other Gears of Wars either. It's some other thing, apparently. It's about as jarring as the PlayStation 1 Tomb Raiders to the PlayStation 4s. So it can't be those. Ooh, we got a requester. What's going on?
Good with you, fool. How you doing, bro?
You sound great.
I sound all right. I sound good.
Yeah, you don't you don't sound like you don't sound bad like you normally be sounding bad. Now you sound great. Did you get a new headset?
Nah, this is the same shitty ass mic on my phone.
Who is this word Oakley? I don't know who that is. Yo, what's cooking? I don't know who you are. I don't know. I've seen that name somewhere, but I can't put my finger on what it is. First one here. I guess you just listen. Okay, cool. That works. So what's good, man? I'm trying to figure out. Let's just say in a different universe, right? I would be thinking of buying an Xbox, right? And I was hoping that an Xbox or two or 10, because they're not really playing any games currently, what they have all the time in the world to kind of come up here and tell me um, what's so good about Xbox. Black, what do you have to say about it? What's so good about Xbox that I'm missing? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe my fanboyism is preventing me from seeing the greatness that is Xbox. What's really hood?
I mean, for me, um, we different type of gamers though. Like you like your type of games, and I like my type of games. For me, I'm into the fighters, the beat 'em ups, real action orientated games. I'm into shit like that. I like dip my toe in the other shit. You know what I'm
Yeah, a
saying?
lot of stuff that you play is like the Crapcom. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you say, fuck. Nah,
Choking
like,
on
all
that
right. So
night. Thanks.
to answer your question, it'd be like, what type of games are you looking for? What type of games are you into? Right? I'm gonna play the bot because that's what they be doing. They be like,
What's going
oh,
on, Bob?
what type of games do you like? So
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you about Game Pass. Let me tell you. But for real though, what type of games are you looking for that's on the Xbox that you can't get from PlayStation? Is the answer, because you're already involved in another ecosystem right now that's going to cover you for certain games. So is there something else on the Xbox that you're missing out on?
So let's break this down. And what I'm going to try to do is not mention, right, PC yet, because
All right.
that's a big situation. Let's just say Xbox was in its own little container. The type of games that I like to play are typically action adventure, like exploration type games. There are some racers that I do like to play as well. I like to modify the cars. You know, I like the great sense of speed. I like the controls. I like the graphics. I'm a graphic whore. I'm also an art whore too. So if you have a strong art direction, you pretty much sold me as well. That being said, what games do they have on Xbox?
I'm trying to think of a game that covers what you're talking about that's not on the
Ooh.
PlayStation. And I don't want to even involve PlayStation on it, but it's you already involved that into the conversation. You are a pony, so you got a PlayStation. What's the point in investing in a $500 machine when you already have a PlayStation that plays most of the games that you're already interested in?
Well,
So it's like,
well, you know how you watch a movie and you're not quite sure if you want to watch it, right? So here's the thing. You remember I was telling you about the Invincible cartoon, right?
oh, that's my
I was
shit.
like,
For
man,
sure.
that shit's whack, man. Everybody's all hype, you fucking plebes. I don't give a fuck about this stupid shit. This ghetto ass DC looking shit. That shit whack. That shit, yeah, the best Xbox was 360 era, absolutely. But I was like, that shit's whack. Gives a fuck. And then you know what? I saw something. It's an advertisement. And that intrigued me. I would have never picked or watched this fake ass DC Marvel hybrid of a cartoon. Never. That's what I thought of it. And then I watched the episode, and then another, and then another, and then it's done. And I'm waiting for season two. It is not up to me to seek out something that I may be interested in. It's supposed to be advertised. And what they advertise is Game Pass. So what's in Game Pass? That's the question. What's in Game Pass? Because every time I hear when somebody is talking about Game Pass, Xbox, they talk about Game Pass. So what is in Game Pass that fits the criteria of the shit that I'm looking for?
So these were like
Action, adventure, exploration, and some racing. Platformers as well.
And these games, do they necessarily have to be exclusive?
I mean, why? What do you mean by exclusive though?
Like, are they do they need to be not on the PlayStation platform?
Why would I get an Xbox if that's the case?
Hey, that's why I'm asking you.
My whole thing is I'm thinking about getting an Xbox. If that's the case, why would I need a system? It has to have something on it that's not present on PlayStation that would make it so that I would want it.
So you got your Halo. You know what I'm saying? Crossfire X.
See, if I wanted to play Halo, if I wanted to play the definitive edition of Halo, then I would just pick up Destiny. That's the problem.
Damn.
Crossfire,
I'm gonna need somebody with some more Xbox expertise, man, because all I do is fuck with Game Pass on PC,
well,
bro.
Now we get into the second topic, or the second piece of this topic.
Listen, I would like somebody to point it out. I want to be a hypocrite. Giving out misinformation.
They hypocrites. The smile on your face and the talk behind the soldiers. Left, right. I'm sorry. That's old Fuji La, if you don't know. I'm sure you do. Yeah. So I'm looking at the chat here. The best console of all time was a SNES. Now, back in its heyday, if I were to pick up let's go all the way back. Okay, so before I go, okay, I'm not going to do the PC just yet. Before I go to the PC thing, right? Let's go all the way back in the time when the Xbox was first announced in 2001. There were many things that they had that was better or exclusive to the Xbox. So either you had a better looking game, whether it be frame rate or actual graphics. There was a better online system because it was just basically per game basis on a PS2. They had their exclusives. It was what was it? Splinter Cell, Doom. I couldn't really play that type of Doom 3 anywhere else but the Xbox. Ninja Gaiden. If I really wanted to play Ninja Gaiden, if it was ever ported, it was the best place to play on the Xbox. Period. Point blank. And then you had Halo.
You don't even have to go back that far, bro. We could go back to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 generation. Ooh. They made sure they had a nice lineup of games that made me go out and buy an Xbox, and I never had.
What's going on, Brian?
Sorry, I didn't answer. When I saw Killer Instinct, bro, I was like, holy fucking shit, bro. And I don't know if you remember that crowd reaction when they revealed Killer Instinct. I was like that in my house, nigga. Like, I had complaints from my neighbors the way I was screaming, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, wait, don't tell me Microsoft had you screaming.
Bro, you ever seen something where it's like the nostalgia chills just run up your spine? You're like, huh? Nigga, that's the type of reaction. And I went out and bought that motherfucker, bro, for that game. So when people tell me that exclusives don't matter and I'm fine, they full of shit. Like half of in the fighting game community, they went out and bought Xboxes. You know what I'm saying? For that fucking game. I wasn't the only one. I talk to people every day. And I talked to them and the same people who went out and bought Scalebound. When I talked to them about Killer Instinct, like, yeah, man, that's why I bought my Xbox One for. I was like, damn, I thought I was the only one because everybody act like they don't care about Killer Instinct all of a sudden.
You know what?
So I'm like, damn, where's the new Killer Instinct? They didn't even talk about Killer Instinct yet. So that means that game might be 10 years out if they're gonna make another one. We don't know when the fuck Killer Instinct coming. We don't even know if they got a depth for Killer Instinct. The fact that they announced games for 2025, 2024, and we haven't even got an announcement for Killer Instinct is scary, bro. That shit might not even be in the works.
I don't think it's coming back. Coming back. It ain't coming back, man. That's it. To
this day, I own that game digitally, bro. Anytime I log into Xbox, even though I ain't playing for Xbox Live, I could go ahead and download that motherfucker whenever I want and play it. But it's an older game now. It looks dated now. You know what I'm saying? Even on PC, it don't look that great. They need to update. It looked really good at launch, but like now it's like, you know.
So you telling me they need nanite?
It need a little nanite. You know what I mean?
Make sure. Little nanite. You know. No,
a lot of nanite, little lumen. You know what I mean?
Little lumen. You know, but you know what the funny thing is though? I was really interested in one game on the and they almost had they almost had their little swag. They almost had it. They almost had their swag, my dude. They had like almost like an Alan Wake type situation, right? It was almost it was like an Alan Wake, but it was morphed into Quantum Theory. You know what I mean? They had like a little TV show. They showed Halo and his slip stream and slip. You know, they showing that and they positioned it as an open world. I'm not even talking about graphics, just the prospect of what it could be. And I'm like, okay, they got a whole ecosystem with animals and shit. You know, I mean, it ain't that. If you don't know what that is, it's me trying to tip the theme song of Horizon Zero Dawn. But they didn't have all that. But I was like, okay, cool. But the thing that interested me was Fable. Not Scalebound, but Fable. I have a thing for living, breathing worlds. That's my thing. I love seeing AI interact with each other. Once upon a time, I actually was going to be either an animator or an AI programmer, one of the two. And so when I see great animation, you can win my heart easy. That's why I'll be playing that Gravity Rush. Yo, them animations are fucking crazy. The way that cat is linked from one animation to another as if she's falling. It's just, anyway, I digress. So I remember back in 2016, my friend turns on his PlayStation or Xbox. He was like, "Oh, I got it in the beta." You want to know what happened? I swear, I shit you not, right? He turned on his Xbox One and they said that the beta was fucking closed and that was the end of the game. He just got invited into that bitch. And I'm like, well, that's the end of that. What else do you got? Scalebound Wisconsin. Ooh. So what are you doing? And then they just start putting games on PC, which I love the way I segmented that. I segued into it. It's just smooth. It's just eased into. Ooh. Anyway, even if they released a shit ton of games, I will be able to buy it on PC. Even on a laptop, a gaming laptop, I will be still able to buy it and probably outperform the Series X, especially the Series S. Be able to upgrade my memory, my SSD, the way I want it, the way I wanted it. Can't do that shit on the fucking Series X or S. Can't really do that. Yo, what's going on, Plus Ultra? We're just talking about what would be the reason for me to buy an Xbox Series console. We are really trying to get into it, man, because it's very difficult to try to understand what is the purpose of this box. I don't get it. If all your games are on PC, then what is the purpose? Even if it's fucking timed exclusive, where I can get it beforehand. Even if that's not even a thing. We said day and date. So the only thing that the Xbox really has is the fact that you can use Game Pass. And that's just, huh?
I was about to say that, bro. I'm happy on that. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Because you really can't say quality either, because you get shit like fucking Halo, which is missed this co-op and other shit. So you got a broken ass game. I would say Forza, but it's like Forza 4, but in a different location. They didn't even spruce it up, to add anything else. Maybe burnout type accidents or something, but nope, the same fucking game. We haven't released the Gears of War in a while. Then you went out and started buying fucking publishers. And the best thing that you were going to get is shit that was already going to come for your console anyway. So, and if it's exclusive, right, to the Xbox platform, then it's coming out for PC day and date. Which brings me back to the original question. Why do I need this box? Why does anybody need this box?
Well, from what I'm hearing, it plays the third-party games better than the PlayStation. That's what the box said.
That's what it says?
That's what they say.
Okay.
Better performance, better fidelity. That's what they say.
Better fidelity, but worse frame rate, right? Or missing effects. I was seeing the rounds online about Dying Light, right? People were actually talking about how Dying Light was just a smidget clearer in an already post-effect smeared game as it is. But let's just give them that, right? Let's just give them a few lines of resolution. with those few lines of resolution and the same frame rate performance, right? It is missing shadow details. So it's like if you give it something somewhere else, then it's taken away another place. Please help. I don't understand the mindset of an Xbox where they cap for this console. Is the controller? I mean, do I need the box? Because I could just buy the controller. It doesn't do anything fucking new.
That controller loud as hell, bro.
Clickety clack.
Clack, 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 pippity, pat, pat, pat. That's what that shit sound like, bro. It sound like you playing on the fight stick, bro.
Yo, what's that dude's name again? They used to tap dance back in the 90s.
Ah, shit.
Gregory Hines. Gregory Hines. Sound like that nigga tap dancing in your house. Y'all don't know that. Damn, I'm showing my age. You know I'm about to be 40. Damn.
Yeah, I'm mad that I know that name as well, bro.
Kenny G's and the Gregory Hines and shit. Anyway, luckily I don't look like it. You see me, they be like, damn, that nigga, you look young. Anyway, let me see here. It's not for players. It's to appease investors by services. That is unfortunate. But you got to ask your question, Plus Ultra. What's going on with the Xbox? Why are they invested into this console the way that they are? That's really what I'm trying to figure out. They are like hyper invested.
Now I'm gonna be super honest, bro, and my feelings. These are my feelings and the way I feel about this shit, bro. The Xbox in its current state it's not about the fucking system anymore. It's not about the
to whom.
It's all about
to people
Game Pass
or to people.
It's the number one. Yeah, the number one thing to Xbox, the company, and Microsoft is the actual service. They don't care about quality of games anymore. It's all about, hey, here's this bunch of shit in this box. Hey, if you want it, go get it type shit. It's gonna be in here for a limited time. We might throw some new shit in there for you. I think it's not for us per se, because we're like the enthusiasts when it comes to gaming, and we want the AAA games and all that stuff. Like this is for people who like casual gamers. They play on the weekend. They want to tip their put their little toe in the water. Try something out, load it up, delete it, load it up, delete it. They got some friends come over. Hey, I got Game Pass. What you want to play? It's like I don't feel like they're hardcore gamers, bro. And I'm gonna be honest, niggas on Game Pass for the most part ain't hardcore gamers, bro. Now there's exceptions. I know some guys that buy games and there's some real hardcore gamers still on Xbox, but it's very few of them, and I know some of them. So I'm not gonna say it's everyone, but most of the niggas who on that Game Pass shit, they not really gamers like that, bro. And we talk to these niggas every day, and when you ask them what they playing, they can't answer you, bro. They be like, what's that game? Like nigga for real?
Or what aboutism? Well, I like it. I like it. Okay, what's your gamer tag? What's your gamer tag if you like it so much?
My name was Melty Black, nigga. When I was playing Seafood, that shit was Seafood, nigga. If you don't know what I'm playing, I ain't changing my name up. That shit's in my goddamn something. I'm posting gameplay all the time, screenshots. I know y'all be sick of me when I'm posting gameplay sometimes. I don't give a fuck. But you know what I'm playing when I'm playing it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like, I don't get some of these guys. They're not enthused about video games, really. They only care about one up in some shit. Oh, you don't have this anymore. They were super hype about the acquisitions and like that was gonna change something. Like even with the Sony acquisition, I was like, okay, I was more excited about this shit because it was funny to me because what was going on at the time.
It was petty.
I don't care about them buying Bungie. The only thing I can see from that is like maybe they'll increase Bungie's quality. That's the only thing I get from that. But I don't care about anything else, dog. Like I stopped playing Destiny a while ago. I played a lot of Destiny. I played a lot of Destiny more than a lot of people. I got 3,000 something hours in Destiny 1 and like close to 400 in Destiny 2. You know what I'm saying? So I put in work in those games, but I don't care about them like that no more. The thing I was more excited about was like maybe Sony help them step that shit up a little bit. Cause they look like they need some money and they need some help to like the storyline, quality, shit like that. I want to go ahead and rant on, though. My bad. Maybe you want to talk on that shit a little bit.
No, it's just it's we know if you're sane, you know exactly why the Xbox exists. You know what I mean? It's to keep Phil Spencer employed. He want to keep his job like a motherfucker, so he gave a plan B, which is to be a publisher. And I guarantee you, the reason why Call of Duty is even being on other consoles and that shit was revised is because the people that are kind of check these systems when you purchase something, because it's not about the gaming space, it's about the influence of the actual company. They were probably like, yeah, I ain't gonna give you all that. You want to have to do something with that shit. And so they had to relinquish Call of Duty. Now, the thing is, there isn't a history anywhere, a piece of history that even indicates that Microsoft would ever um, elevate a developer, like ever. That's the problem. You know, if anything, people are going to talk about Halo. You had $68 billion worth of fucking money that you basically came out your fucking pocket, right? And Halo still is broken. Even the Master Chief Collection is broken. And you still canceling fucking games. How do you have so much fucking money and you still are canceling, like still trying to hold on to money or being frugal? This shit doesn't make sense. When you ask someone that has a Nintendo console or a PlayStation console, what do they like about it? There is a myriad of things that they can say equally across the board. So you can even say the same thing with PC. People that have PC, they'll tell you flat out it's the best place to play. Got the best frame rates. We have things that we can edit. There's a lot of freedom on that bitch. We got mods. And you ask, what about Xbox? What is the answer? That's the funny thing. What is the answer?
Velocity architecture.
Chuck. So
Hey, what happened to velocity architecture though, bro? They be naming out shit that they don't even know what the hell it is.
they don't even know what it is. I
They be
see.
all these marketing talk points. Full RDNA2, velocity architecture, VRR. Like these niggas can't even explain to you what that shit mean, bro. I'm like, dude, how does that enhance my experience? What features? What does full RDNA2? I asked this dude the other day. What does that give you? How does that enhance my experience with games? Oh, that he told me. Oh, that gives you DLSS. I'm like, no, nigga, no, that don't get you DLSS, bro. It gets you on AMD Fidelity FSR. I'm like,
It's,
nigga,
Jesus.
I said that shit's on the PlayStation. Like, they be having all these talking points that they prepare for, right? To talk shit, but they don't know what the fuck this shit mean. They ain't really do no research, and it's like I just hate the dishonesty about the shit, right? You know what I'm saying? And I hate to turn this into a fanboy rant, you know what I'm saying? But it's just I don't know, man. It's upsetting, dog. Cause like you know, dog. Like we be passionate about this game and shit, bro. And then I see motherfuckers in here faking about that shit, dog. It just pisses me off, dog. Cause I really don't want to waste time on motherfuckers like that. But that's what we be doing half the damn time. What I be doing, I'm guilty of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll troll every now and then, but damn, bro.
I mean, when you break it down, it doesn't none of the logic for these. I can never get an Xbot. I like for real Xbot to be on this fucking space and podcast ever. I even thought about that shit too, like reaching out to them. They don't want to be reached out to. They don't want help. They don't want to see anything else but what they want to see. They play L's and W's.
Dog, the dishonesty is like truly upsetting, dog, because at the end of the day, bro, we just want like really good games. And as long as these motherfuckers out here lying and capping for shit and they don't really want shit to improve because they rather sit here and lie and console war about shit, we ain't never gonna get those good games from Microsoft. They believe that it's okay to do what they doing. Oh no, fuck it. They don't want good games, they just want Game
You know,
Pass. It's all good.
yo, they the noisiest motherfucking person. One
Killer
person,
Instinct? What Killer Instinct?
one person came up to me on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
This is what he did, which was really funny. He compared. I'll maybe just show you. Hold on. This motherfucker compared. Um, what the fuck did he compare? He compared GT Sport and GT7. You know what he said? Motherfucker said it's the same trees.
Oh man.
I just sent it to you via DM. He says GT7 looking so bad, 2D sprite. He keeps saying 2D sprites and they're fucking 3D models. The 2D sprites are actually in Forza 7. It is a fucking tree based off of real life. What do you want it to look like? It's the same fucking spruce tree. Why would they change the model?
I don't know, man.
I mean, this has been 30 minutes of just ranting about the bullshit that I see here. It's unfortunate that somebody has to really just keep on with the barrage of truth because no one else, like, these niggas is left unchecked. It's crazy. Destin, whatever the fuck his name is, IGN, we had to spend a whole 12 fucking months of people comparing the Series X to the PS5 and them consistently saying that the PS5 was inferior, that the DualSense was a gimmick, nobody cares. It was similar to the fucking Xbox controller. It had less memory, so you can store so many more games on the Xbox. But what they failed to understand is that there was compression on the PS5, which even the fucking shit basically squared off.
Nah, it's not even. It's actually
it's a little better. I'm trying to give him a bone here. Shit.
Nah, you can't give him that because it's not true.
You're right. It was. I can put more games on that 667 gigabyte free fucking SSD.
Yeah, if they PlayStation 5 games designed for the PlayStation 5, you fit way more games.
Not only that, but the game's load faster. I just watched the Digital Foundry today. That's why I don't like these fuckers, yo. They are irritating every time, yo. The guy was comparing Sifu, PC, and PlayStation, right? And it turns out that Sifu loads about almost double the speed of the PC, right? About 3-4 seconds. And it was about 7-8 seconds on the PC. He was like, oh, I could do so much with that extra 4 seconds. Nigga, you are a tech website, bitch. I don't want to hear your fucking extra quips. Shut the fuck up.
Bro? Who was that?
It was Alex. Alex Battaglia didn't say anything. It was no, he didn't. It was the other guy. They got some Chinese guy in there. I guess he was Chinese.
Okay. I thought it was Battaglia. You know what I'm saying? I was about to go
in No.
He been acting a little better lately, dog.
He been a little better. But the other guy was like, "Oh, I could." He was like, "Oh, I could." He was like, I could talk about 4 more seconds of my of salami, or I don't know what the fuck kind of joke he was trying to position. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like, nigga, what? Like, you're supposed to be reporting fucking, specs. 4 seconds is 4 seconds.
Yeah, that's facts.
I don't want to hear your extra shit about what you could do with 4 seconds or how insignificant 4 seconds is when you sit there and complain about 1936 versus 1800p and act like that shit is significant. Shut the hell up. Like, it's so extra irritating when I hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? And you got people talk about lines of resolution. I have one more line of resolution on the Xbox. Is the best place to play. My game dropped 1 frame. I'm sorry, PlayStation dropped 1 frame in an hour, and mine didn't, which is rare for it to be inferior on the PS5 anyway. But let's just give them that bone. They'll say some shit like that. And that shit's fucking irritating to me.
These are on poor optimized games too. That's the funny shit.
Like Dying Light 2.
That game don't run fucking great. Like there's people crying about optimization. So
like Dying Light 2 is a fairly optimized game in terms of they overshot. It was like, fuck it, you ain't gonna say my game is running bad and I'm doing this fucking cyberpunk shit. I'm gonna drop that bitch all the way down to 1080p across the fucking board. Yeah, we do have wiggle room, but you ain't catching me. You know what I'm saying? It is clearly not optimized for the PS5 because it takes about 2 seconds or 3 seconds longer to load versus PC or the Xbox.
I'm gonna be real, like they just need to. I know they gotta support last gen, bro, but like that shit is it's affecting the next gen games or the next gen versions of games. That's just how much time they could have. They sitting there wasting time on optimizing for those other consoles, bro. They could have been using that to sharpen up or even put more assets. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that they would have did it? But it's just that extra time that's taken away from.
Nigga, they want money. They want money. The more platforms, the more money they want to get. They want to make a fucking, what do you call it? When a parody. They want to bring parody to all of the versions of the game. I know it's about money, and I get it. And in the grand scheme of things, you got Horizon Forbidden West looking like what it looks like. So there's that.
There you
know
go.
what I'm saying?
There's no excuses, bro.
It just really boils down to no excuses. Well, it's on Sony's platform only, nigga. It is PS4, PS4 Pro, PS5, and you damn well know it better be on on the PC.
You got to clean that up. Yeah, Sony only. We don't say PlayStation.
You know, only from Sony.
From Sony.
You know what I mean? You know, if you don't know why I say only from Sony, it's basically to cover my ass. So if Sony do some fuckery and release shit on PC, you gonna have somebody, ooh, it's on PC. And I'm like, nigga, I didn't say only on PlayStation. I said only from Sony. Ooh, that rhyme, yo, bars. I didn't even know, yo. I'm writing them lyrics every week. This is helping. But anyway, but yeah. So now that we spoke to at length about Xbox, we're gonna obviously talk about the PlayStation. So of course, I gotta bring this shit up every fucking time. Black, what do you like about PlayStation 5?
Man, the speed, the audio, the haptics are fire, bro. The UI is
subjective.
The UI, like a lot of people don't like the UI, but my thing is the UI. It's not the new update enhances it. It makes it better. But when I'm talking about the UI, I'm talking about the speed. It's not chugging along like it was on the PlayStation 4 and the Pro. It's just snappy as hell. I normally don't have to wait for shit unless something like my extended storage was cut off incorrectly or something like that. That's the only time I have to like wait for some shit. But other than that, man, it's the experience is super smooth and fast, and just get into the game. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of time.
Wait, can I pause you? Can I pause you real quick?
Yeah.
So I decided to play some old PS4 games, right? That wasn't using the SSD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. And I legit thought that my fucking hard drive was broken because it was loading. I was like, what's taking it so long? What's wrong with it? Yo, I think so. Oh, it's a PS4 game. It's a PS4 game. I forgot natively and they didn't update it. Ooh. I'm sorry, go on, continue, please. But
this game that you talking about, did you have it on your storage on your PlayStation 5?
No, nope. That's why I was trying to figure it out. I was so used to the experience being so quick. And yeah, it's quick on the Xbox. It's quick. You know, it is because it's an SSD. But just, Sony went all out. I mean, it's rare that you can sit there and turn on Miles Morales and just instantly be in the fucking game.
What happened to Fatal? Fatal didn't want to talk? What happened? I wanted to hear his take on it. He didn't want to do it today.
Because you
didn't want to clean it up today.
He didn't want to clean it up today. He already. Let me try to get him in there.
Get him in here, man. I want him to sell you on an Xbox, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see.
That's he's a real gamer and he's on Xbox. He should be the one to answer your question, bro. I can't cap, bro. All I can do is give you talking points that other people else be talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they factual or not.
It could be actual and factual, you know. Let's see here. Fatal. Where is he? Oh. Let me see. Get in here. Okay. Yo, these segues are nasty. All right, so what else do you like about the PS5?
Man, I mean, besides me getting to my games, which is the main point of playing the games, is the games look more beautiful. The 60 FPS, I love the performance.
You said it look more beautiful.
More beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The performance, of course, is my biggie. I love the 60 frames per second. I know a lot of people prefer the resolution modes, but I love the 60 FPS, dog. I love that shit. So just it's doing everything that because I wanted basically a more powerful PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying? So it's giving me everything I wanted. It's faster. The games look more prettier, and they play more. They play more snappier. Dog. I love it. Dog. It's all about the games, really. At the end of the day, everything else is just it's helping us get to the games. It's helping that the experience be more smoother, and the system just works fast, bro. It's there. I don't think I'm ever gonna sell this motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I
It's working.
mean,
It's just,
well,
it's just
you say look. You said once trophy go over there on the PC, it's a wrap. Just saying.
nah. I'm not getting rid of my PlayStation though. You know what I'm saying? I just saying the PlayStation will go if they ever put trophies on PC. The PlayStation just goes to the bedroom, which I spend a lot of time in there anyway. So, but in the game room, the PC, the PC is gonna be what it is when I'm gaming. If I want to lay back and chill, then the PlayStation 5. But that's only if the trophies and they go day and date. Of course, like you know what it is, dog. I gotta play my games when they come out. So if I gotta wait, then you know what it is, bro. I gotta get it on the PlayStation.
Absolutely not, because I'm already feeling the squeeze when it comes to playing Sifu. I'm like, I told myself I was going to wait, and I'm like, damn, I want to kind of play that like low key now. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Here's my reasoning for buying a PlayStation, because when you ask a reasonable person why they are doing whatever that they're doing, or why they're fanboying, they should have a reason. They really should. You know what I mean? And you still there?
I'm here, fool. I'm here. Listening to you.
Yeah. My reason is the type of games that they present. The games that they present is right up my alley. I like adventure games, It's not even about single player games. I just like exploring shit. I do. I like the acting in their games. I like the easy to get into, hard to master type games that they make. You know, they build their IPs up to the point where I miss the characters in its universe, whether it be Killzone or Gravity Rush or Uncharted. For some people, it's The Last of Us, Jack and Dexter, things of that nature, right? At the moment, you can't get it anywhere else, and even if you could, the differences is so minute. I don't really play for an extra, a sharper shadow. I don't do that. You know what I mean? Sharper shadows, I don't give a fuck. As long as they ain't crazy egregious, or playing on PC to me doesn't matter. And then you get the games first on PlayStation anyway. But not only that, I like the 3D audio. That really makes a difference. Really hard to come back. Actually, you really can't come back unless you're listening to a 2-channel song when it comes to 3D audio. And then you have the actual dual sense that adds so much. Like, it adds an extra layer of perception. It was almost as if, right, when Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, when she put on that focus, and it just gave her an extra layer of perception where she saw shit that doesn't really wasn't existing. Right. It's what it feels like. It adds an extra layer. Like when I used to play Returnal, it was like the controller was an extra menu system. I didn't need to take a look at the health bar or see if my weapon is recharged or whatever the case is. Things like that, those experiences, amongst being able to upload shit on Twitter like immediately, or put your things on social media immediately without having to open up OBS and wiggle with this shit all day. That to me, people don't understand this. You don't have. You don't have. Let me see what Fado said. God damn it. Okay, 1 second. Cool. Is he in here? Fado. He requested it. All right, cool. You don't have those things. You can't stream without jumping through many hoops on the Xbox. Nor can you just upload things on Twitter, if not mistaken. You can do it on Switch, but at a very limited degree, like 30 seconds of some shit. You got things to worry about there. But that's the reason why I like it. And notice how the reason is different between Black and I. Because it's just so many things to like. If I were to ask a Nintendo fan, what do they like about Nintendo? And they're going to say their games are really fucking fun. They're not walking simulators. You know what I mean? It just hits a nostalgia nerve that they just love. You know, and they just like the swag of Nintendo. Like you're not getting those. You definitely ain't getting those games anywhere the fuck else. So
Nope.
you want like Splatoon and all those other things. You need to buy a Switch or whatever console that they have. Before I ask the question, Fatal, you ask an Xbox person why should I get an Xbox, and I usually don't hear a really good reason. So I went to the experts. Fatal,
Yes, sir.
thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir. I'm not here long, by the way.
Great. I understand it. You know what happened? Why are you sniffing like that? Is Coke?
COVID? No. I just did a
No.
COVID test like 2 days ago and it came back negative.
I said Coke.
Oh, Coke? Oh, no, I don't do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question
yes.
about convincing somebody to buy an Xbox,
sell me on an Xbox.
I can't sell you on an Xbox because that's not my fucking decision to sell you on an Xbox.
Oh, God. But okay. So what do you like about Xbox?
Game Pass?
We rest our case.
Listen. I buy these consoles because everyone provides some form of entertainment for me.
Wait. We are not jumping from console to console. Xbox only. That's all
I just told you. I can't give you a reason. I have no. How am I supposed to convince somebody when that said person doesn't know what the games are on the platform or may not like the games that are on the platform? That's not my job. My job is to show you what games are on there, sure, but I'm not going to sit there and fucking convince somebody to buy an Xbox when they don't even know anything about the console or the company. Like the vast majority of fucking people on this goddamn social media shit who know nothing about Xbox. Nothing.
You know I do. So.
Well, I'm not saying you. I'm saying like just in generality.
I know, but I'm not into the crumb side or any other nonsense that goes on.
Yeah,
so
fuck that side, bro.
My whole situation, Fado, is to figure out what makes Xbox unique. What makes Xbox unique?
You know, it's actually a really, really rather interesting question because even I can't even answer that because I honestly don't know what makes Xbox unique. What makes PlayStation unique? What makes Nintendo unique, right?
The DualSense controller.
I think you can answer the question because
no.
In the past, you like a lot of the indie games that are on Game Pass.
Correct, sir. Yes.
Yeah, so that's something I don't really know much about those games because I'm not into them. But you could shed more light on it because we honestly don't know the games that. And I might go in there and scroll through it, but Xbox on PC is different than what's on the actual Xbox.
Yeah. There's a lot of games that both don't get.
So, what makes Nintendo unique? It will be the games that they present and the type of console that it is. It's the only really low key, high key, but low key, but high key. The PSP was actually a hybrid console. You could use the HDMI thing to broadcast on there and play it, but nobody talks about that. But let's just give it to Nintendo for the moment to make it simpler. Having the controllers dislodged the way that they do and using it, like I saw this chick, she strapped it on her leg, like Ada Wong and shit like that. It was playing soccer or some shit. Just the swag and the type of game that you play, you're not that type of experience. Animal Crossing or Pokemon, you will not get anywhere else. And when it comes to Sony, you get a plethora of genres to choose from, even if it's third party. But taking out third party, yeah, you do. It covers every genre in gaming.
No, it doesn't.
Which game? If you say RTS, there's RTSs on there. So
No, I'm talking about first party RTS wise. Where are those games
I'm
at?
talking about I'm talking about the
Where's the first party Western RPGs at?
I'm talking about the whole console.
No, okay, never mind. I thought you were talking about first party then.
No. First party is specialized. First party's objective is to lure you into their ecosystem, and then you play whatever third party is there while you wait for the first party. That's what they designed it to do.
Sony still has to fucking yet to convince me to buy PS5 yet.
Well, you can't find it anyway. I still haven't been convinced to buy an Xbox. What's HB2? Could be. What is that? What's HB2? Hellblade 2. I mean, they didn't even show anything other than this bitch running away from a giant bald ass man. Anyway,
I'm so tired of people saying that. Really tired of people saying that.
Is it the truth? But is it the truth or is it not?
No, because they did the exact same thing for the first game and nobody said a fucking word when that game was being worked on, dude. That's the hilarious thing.
I am going to find a launch stuff.
Yo, there's a lot of people, man, that are fucking. Let me just say this real quick, Josh. I'm agreeing with you. But I'm just going to say this right now. All those motherfuckers that are out in the goddamn gaming community right now overhyping this Hellblade 2 shit never played the fucking first game to begin with. I guarantee you, you go and you look at their profile, they're not even going to have that game anywhere on their fucking list. All this stupid bullshit that's going on right now with the Hellblade and all these other games that are coming out in the fucking foreseeable future, they'll come when they come. Who cares? I mean, fuck, everything that Sony's bringing out right now, I can play on my fucking PS4 minus 3 games. Ooh, huge loss for me. Huge fucking loss for me.
When we're talking about the company, here's the thing. If you didn't have a PlayStation 5, you still have DualSense, the 3D controls, the fast memory.
I don't give a fuck about any of that shit.
I know you don't give a fuck about it, but there is a massive
people don't either.
Life jump. Well, it's selling out, so apparently somebody cares. So,
of course it's selling out, man. You guys are fucking sheeps, bro. What do you expect? I'm playing.
So, that being said, right? It looks like Fatal doesn't have an answer really, other than the same typical tropes of Game Pass.
Well, I can't answer. I told you I don't know. Because none of these consoles have anything fucking unique anymore to sell me on. They used to, not anymore.
Yes, they do. They do have unique shit.
They actually don't. They really don't.
Actually,
they don't.
What
is DualSense going to do for me there, Josh? I mean, I've already felt the fucking thing on the Switch. And it's like a lesser version of it, and I'm not even impressed by that.
It's not.
Plus, I guarantee you that DualSense is highly overrated. I mean, I've talked to Tay several times, and he already confirmed to me on a lot of shit how overrated that fucking controller is.
Tay's a bot, though. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, that's my nigga, but he a bot. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, but
I know he is. But again,
hold on, Fatal. When you sit there and you say that Game Pass and I have it because of Game Pass and shit like that, that doesn't interest me in the slightest. To me, that whole service is completely overrated because of the quality of those games. Now, you can say that that's subjective, right?
There's a lot of great quality games on that shit.
You said, but they are also multi-platform. So you can sit there and say,
most of them are, yeah.
Yes. So it invalidates the service.
No, it doesn't. It invalidates the fact that you just said it yourself. If it's multi-platform and you don't give a shit about that game at all, period, to begin with, to even look at that game on your own storefront, that's an irrelevant fucking point.
You were putting words in my mouth. I never said any of that.
No, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm giving you an example.
You just did though. You said that.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Fine. Maybe I did, but I'm giving you an example in the sense that you can sit there and say that all these fucking half-cut games are on there, but you just told me that most of them are multi-platform. If that be the case, if you're not even looking at the games on your own system, who said that? Who cares?
But that exactly is the reason why I had this conversation. Who gives a fuck if it's multi-platform? I just buy a PC if that's the case. If that's the case, I can just
you're not getting what I'm saying. You're not getting what I'm saying.
So
you're completely ignoring the main context.
What is the main context, Fatal?
The main context is that if you have no interest in any fucking of the indie games, it don't matter if it's multi-platform or not, because you're not looking at that game anyways regardless.
How do you know that I'm not looking at the game regardless?
Because you just told me that you don't.
What games are you talking about that I said? What did I say?
Dude, I guarantee you, if you went on fucking and browsed the fucking hold on. If you browse the list,
Fatal, what exactly?
And you look at all the games that PlayStation has as well, I guarantee you 90% of them you're not going to be interested in.
What exactly did I say? because you can't just jump over and say, "Well, I guarantee you this different scenario." Why do you Xbox people do shit like this? Why do y'all do it?
I'm not an Xbox person. Get your facts straight.
Oh, absolutely.
I own 3 systems. Because maybe it's the fact that you don't understand what fucking facts truly are when it comes to Xbox, because you only want to believe in what you truly want to believe in.
Do you prefer Xbox, yay or nay?
No.
No. What do you prefer then?
Fucking Nintendo over Xbox any day of the week.
Nintendo. But where do you game on the most?
The Xbox.
Okay.
That's not my preference, though.
So you say. You know
so I can't be a fan of software?
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like one of those people. Now, excuse this.
No. I apologize, Josh. I apologize. But what I'm saying is like fucking. I don't understand this misconception. I can't be a fan of software just because it's on a platform that just happens to be my most played platform. Like, I don't understand that. Like, here's the thing: it's not my fact that I prefer Xbox over Nintendo or prefer whatever you want to call it.
I'm about to blow your spot all the way up.
Well, hold on. I think we went south on the conversation. We truly were just trying to find out, like, for you, because you can't answer for Josh, right?
Yeah, no, and I can't answer for myself either because I don't know.
Right, there's your answer. He can't answer for himself.
Well, how am I supposed to answer that though, Josh?
No, but
what am I supposed to say to you? No, hold on. Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. Fucking. But let me just ask this one question, Josh. Fucking, if I was to ask you, fucking, what would be a reasonable, logical thing for you to want to buy an Xbox? What reason would you have to buy an Xbox?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
But that's totally dependent on you. You have to look at the games that are coming out. Yes, it does.
No.
You cannot go based on someone else's preference. You're not going to share that same preference.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
It happens all the time. That is super
Josh,
dangerous.
Okay, you're right. But at the same time, your opinion is going to be altered. If you can't form your own fucking opinion,
you are so used to arguing with these people online. I am not bringing that type of conversation here. I am legitimately.
I'm not doing anything. What are you talking about?
No, you saying that? Oh, it's going to be skewed. It's going to be skewed. There's a lot of things that I was.
Did I even say the word skew out of my mouth?
Whatever it is, the thing is, I have never. There was a lot of things in my life that I was never privy to, and somebody put me onto it.
But again, we're talking about consoles. We're not talking about fucking real life shit. We're talking about plastic.
Look, it is.
We're talking about a piece of plastic.
It is real life because it's adjusting my life.
No, the entertainment is fixing your fucking. It's adjusting your life.
That's what I mean. I'm talking about entertainment exclusively.
Okay, yeah. So if we're talking about entertainment in and of itself, right? Again, what entertainment value traits would Xbox bring to you?
I don't know. That's why you're here.
What does Nintendo bring to you?
Why every time I speak to somebody that favors Xbox, this same shit happens every time.
No, dude, because every time when I ask this question, nobody can ever fucking answer the question.
Here you go with nobody. I'm not nobody. I'm Josh, and I'm not talking about Nintendo. Keep it focused on Xbox and Microsoft.
I am keeping it focused on Xbox.
You just asked about Nintendo.
I added Nintendo into the conversation. There's a difference.
Why?
Because maybe you can tell me why you fucking were interested in that in the first place. What drew you to Sony? No,
you can't ask a question with a question. Since you have
to leave fucking Christ! I swear to God. Oh God!
Since you are.
Why are Americans fucking retarded?
Since you are here, right? You said why are black people retarded?
I said no. Shut up, Josh. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. I'm fucking with you, by the way.
Tell me. I don't know. I'll answer your question if you can answer mine.
All right.
Fair enough. I'll tell you what drove me to Sony.
Okay.
So what about you?
Wait, you didn't tell me what drew you to Sony. I wasn't here for that.
Because I asked you the question first. I'll tell you.
Okay. So
but after you answer my question, what is on Xbox that would make me interested in this ecosystem console the whole thing?
I can't. Okay, Halo. Would you play Halo? Would you be interested in playing Halo?
I've played Halo in the past and didn't like it.
Okay, so that's out. Would you play Grounded?
I haven't played Grounded before. What kind
No,
of game is
no, I'm
Grounded?
asking like you know what it is. Like, would you ever actually give that game a try?
I haven't played it before, and I don't know too much about it.
Okay. This is another reason why this makes this question impossible to answer.
It shouldn't.
No, and the reason why, in theory wise, I think the reason why it is impossible to answer because how are you going to know you're going to like something if you never try it out? You had to have done the same with going over to Sony.
So
you
let me
had
ask
to have
this.
played their shit and liked it.
Hold on, wait. So have you ever been put on? Okay, hold on. I know this is outside of the realm of gaming, but how did you start smoking weed?
My brother. Peer pressure.
So peer pressure, your brother kind of like told you it's going to make you feel good, and you smoked it.
I mean, fuck, I'm smoking it right now, so obviously it does make me feel good.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying what did he say to you to get you to do it? He just said, "Here, smoke this shit." Because you have to learn how to smoke weed. You just a specific.
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course, yeah. No, I see where you're going with this, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So what did your brother tell you to make you smoke weed?
He kept on bugging me because he came home drunk, fucking pissed drunk off his ass.
All right, but what made it alluring to you?
Nothing. I just fucking did it to get him to shut the fuck up for 5 minutes.
Okay. What drew you into Xbox?
What drew me to Xbox? Video games drew me to Xbox.
No. You can't just blanket it because you would have a PlayStation.
What else am I? Okay,
what was
fine.
What was the thing?
What else am I playing on the Xbox, Josh?
No. I'm talking about back then when the Xbox first came out and you bought your first Xbox console, whatever it may be.
Video games, dog. That's what drove. Any platform.
What was
no. There was never ever once a specific game that pulled me into a console.
You see this, guys. It's always happens this way.
It does not happen this way.
It's never like
it does not happen this way.
It's
because how can Josh? No.
Because
no. I'm about to answer your question. No, I'm about to answer it for you.
I hope it's a definitive answer and not a question.
I'm about to give you a definitive answer because you can't answer this back fucking period at all. Period. Okay. Check this out. How am I supposed to sit there and say to you that, oh, I bought this console for this game and this game and this game, when back then we had no fucking idea when half this shit that was coming out, we didn't even know it was even existing, bro. Unless you went online and looked at shit online.
I didn't go on.
What drew me to the GameCube? What drew me to the N64?
What did?
Fucking video games, dog, because that's what video games are.
This fucking
dude. See, this is the reason why I cannot stand modern gamers, dude. This is the number one reason why. Because it's no longer about the games. It's more longer about putting your preference in front of everything else, man.
Let me hold on. Wait. So let me tell you what drew me into video games. It was to escape the shitty fucking house life that I had. That's what drew me into video games. That was the first flavor, right? But then what? I ended up liking games that were like an environment, like a different world. Like you could just step into a different world.
Xbox has got plenty of those.
And I remember when I'm talking about way back in the day. I used to play those little Tiger toys where you put 2 AA batteries in there and they did that. But it wasn't enough.
See, now that molded you into the gamer that you are today, Josh. Why would you do that?
When I played the game, one of my first games that I played was Paperboy.
Classic.
Really liked that game a lot, but I was like, man, I wish I could just switch the games out instead of buying a whole new fucking console. So I ended up getting a Game Boy. A Game Boy wasn't advanced. No, it was a Game Boy Pocket because it had a sharper screen, and I was playing Terminator 2 on that bitch. It's one of my favorite games. It's hard as hell. I played Prince of Persia on there, and I fell in love with Kirby. To this day, that's my favorite.
Respect on Kirby, dog. Respect on Kirby.
My favorite Nintendo IP. And I just like the freedom. Freedom is the recurring theme of the games that I pick. But I remember playing Donkey Kong, and I was like, it looks nice in 3D, but how come you can't move the camera around? I didn't know that it was fake sprites. I just thought it was 3D. You couldn't move it. And the games they had wasn't realistic. Most of the games was just, to me, I didn't really like the flow of it.
Another thing that's killing the industry.
And what ended up happening, it's not killing it. What ended up happening was I ended up getting a Game Gear. And The reason why I got a Game Gear is because of one game, and we all know what game it was. It's Sonic. Is what got me into it. To that ecosystem. Whatever.
Sonic got you into that shit, man, boy.
Yeah.
If you don't shut your mouth.
Sonic was the one that got me into it because it was just the speed of which that game was running. It gave me a sensation of speed. And I remember thinking to myself, this would be fucking awesome if this was an actual 3D environment or whatever the case is. Then I figured out that Sega stopped fucking manufacturing the system and its games. So I had to find another home. And the home that I found was PlayStation. Now, PlayStation, I've learned about that because of the headphones and Walkman that I had. And from that point on, I was like, this is a cool thing. Anything that Sony did, I was just like, it's going to be a hit to me. Back then, that's what I was thinking. So I ended up picking it up, and they played Crash. I'm like, Crash is 3D, but you still can't move the fucking camera. I got into Tomb Raider, and it scratched all of the fucking itches, including my pubescent self and the angular titties. So that's what ended up creating me to be the type of gamer that I am now. That's what ended up doing it. I like 3D environments. I like the freedom, and that's what molded me into it. I say all of this because it was something specific that led me into it. Yeah, I like games, but what led me into that direction? It was freedom in 3D space, and Sony was pushing 3D a lot. So that's what was going on there. I didn't want to deal with 2D anymore.
Anyways.
So you asked the question. Huh?
Okay.
So based on what he said, right? Like you Josh, you said simply put, you like action adventure games in 3D spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
it's a boring genre,
based on your knowledge of Game Pass, Fatal, is there something in Game Pass?
Correction, my knowledge in gaming in general, sir. I prefer to use that because it makes me sound better.
We're
not doing that, man.
Fuck you, Josh. Let me gloat.
What did he say? I can't hear what he said. What did he say?
His knowledge as a gamer.
Oh, all right. Your knowledge as a gamer. And your experience in Game Pass. Is there something on there that you could recommend for him that he might not know of in Game Pass?
Did you really just ask me that question? You know, I could be here for like an hour recommending him shit.
Well,
top three.
Yeah. Dreamscape. That's one.
What kind of game is it?
You like roguelikes, right? You play Returnal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you'll love Dreamscape.
Freaking. Wait, before you go on, is it on PC?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Almost 100% positive that it is.
You can scratch that. Next game, please.
What do you mean scratch that?
I already have
a PC.
PlayStation? No, but I have a PC and I'm a gamer too. Next game, please.
I have. Oh my lord! What the fuck is that? Why would you scratch it?
Please. Next game, please.
Oh my fucking lord, man! You know what? No, we're not doing this.
Why not?
Because you can go online and do it your fucking self.
Okay, so I figured it. Thanks for playing, Fatal. I really appreciate your presence. I'm really also. I feel like it was awesome to kind of validate some of the concerns.
This was constructive. Because like Josh, you was trolling dog with your questions, my nigga. You should
I wasn't.
Let them know. Hey, look, man, I like to stop a game. Is there something on there? I don't know. It's a serious question, dog. Like niggas don't got Game Pass. A lot of people don't have Game Pass, so maybe his answers or his insight.
You could have asked me what games outside of Game Pass because I still buy a lot of shit, right?
Yeah.
No,
so
I know. No, look. The thing that makes Xbox sing is Game Pass.
But the first thing when he asked you what you like about your Xbox, you said Game Pass. So we asked you questions about Game Pass. You did say Game Pass as your answer.
Game Pass would be for the Xbox, but if I can get Game Pass on PC or get the games on PC, then there's no need for me to get an Xbox. It's my whole argument.
And that's exactly what Microsoft wants you to fucking do, bro. They don't care if you buy the console or not.
Oh, so then that's the answer. Now you asked me a question.
So you technically already have an Xbox. So, like a PC.
Oh Jesus. So I will answer your question, right? What does PlayStation have that's unique? There was the DualSense. I like it. Whether Kilate or you, whatever the case is, I like it personally. Look, I don't make fun of you and your ugly ass 2D games.
I'm fucking joking. Relax, dude. Bro, man, trust me, you don't want to see how I'm playing the Switch.
What you gonna be paying?
You would kill me if you saw me the way I play the Switch, dude. You would literally fucking shank my
He's
ass.
talking about him. He's talking about him playing naked on the bed.
Well, hey, no, I'm talking about like the way you play with the man. You threw me off with that bitch, man, motherfucker.
So, is the DualSense is obviously the IPs that Sony crafted. That at least it'll be some sort of exclusivity. I want to play it first. I can't wait. I can't
just
even
give
wait
me
to
fucking
play.
Returnal, bro. Just give me Returnal.
It's coming. It's coming. Going to PC. So there's that. So there, yes, they have unique experiences. Now we have spoken for an hour and 14 minutes about how
I got to split here in a second.
So how positive? No, thank you for giving me the information. I was wondering why you don't come to my podcast anymore. I was assuming
Josh, you know I love coming on here, dude, when I can. Sorry, I've just been busy playing a lot of shit lately, dude. Like a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Crossfire being one of them.
He saw that. He saw that thing. He was like, I ain't that title. I ain't it. It's fucking ponies, man.
No, listen. I'm not gonna lie. When I did see your title, I was like, I had to do like a triple take because I thought I was like reading this shit wrong.
You know, a lot of people came in there and was like, "Yo, fix your title, yo. I think you got it wrong." I'm like, "No, it's right. It's about right." So we've spoken about an hour and 20 minutes talking about positive, and this is not going to be a long segment either. I want to get out of this bitch in 2 hours, and we're basically 40 minutes left. So, everything that was positive about PlayStation, right? And you would think that we don't see the bad shit that's happening with PlayStation, and we do. Censorship is extremely rampant on PlayStation. I didn't really think about it like that, but what was that Going Home Martha or whatever the case is? What is it?
Martha is dead.
Martha is dead. I'll be right back, Josh.
All right, man. That pissed me off because when they covered up that chick's ass from Devil May Cry, I was like, well, that was on PC like that too. You know what I mean? When it came to this Switch game, which is in the thumbnail, when it came to the Switch game, that was on PS4 as well, and they had big ass rays of light covering her titties and shit like that. I was like, okay, maybe it's a Japanese thing, but now this is not a Japanese company. They are literally telling the developers to remove that shit. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that censorship. I'm not a fan of censorship in general. If they give you the warning, that should be enough. You are a whole ass adult. And if you bought a PS5 for your children, again, you are a whole ass adult. Stop buying your kids Grand Theft Auto when you clearly see a fucking M on that bitch. And if you didn't know what that M means, it don't mean Merry Christmas. You can take a look on the back and look at what's in the fucking game. Whatever the title, blood, gore, whatever the fucking case is. It's not tasteful to have a mini game of you cutting somebody's face off, but at the same time, it ain't tasteful for you to stab a knife into somebody's fucking stomach in Mortal Kombat or rip somebody's face off. So I'm curious as to why the disparity between that. Black, can you shine some light on this?
Nah, that's a good point, man. I mean, with everything that's going on in Mortal Kombat, you've seen the fatalities in that motherfucker. I guess that experience, like they have it, is like super visceral. I don't agree with it, by the way. I don't agree with them censoring the shit. It don't make no damn sense. Like you said, somebody should be able to make their own point. But that visceral experience, they probably got the haptics in that bitch. And motherfucker was reviewing this shit. He was like, "Oh, this is too close to home." You know what I'm saying? They felt them haptics, bro, when they was cutting open her face, dog. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, what's that fat boy? What's that fat boy's name? What's that fat boy's name on for that GIF? What do you be like? What do you mean by that?
I don't know, bro. It's like that shit weird, bro. There needs to be some type of form of censorship. Like we don't want no pedophilia or no crazy shit like that on there. But as long as it's just some horror shit, that's nothing new, bro. Horror is horror, bro. Like whoever.
But if it was, pedo shit, but if it, wait, if it was pedo shit,
that shit, yeah.
If it was pedo shit, it wouldn't have been on any platform.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. I said you can't say no.
You can't even say that like it's just I can see this. It just wouldn't be on any fucking platform. Period. Point blank.
That's big facts. But I'm just saying it needs to exist in some form. But they went too far, especially if it's on Xbox and it's on PC with no fucking problem. You know,
no problem at all. No problem. They could peel that bitch face off, reverse it.
The censorship thing ain't new. Sony been doing it for a while, and people have been complaining about it. But their voices aren't really big, and most people don't fucking care. So that's why
I see a lot of cap too. Whoa, why would you want that in your game? Shut your dumb ass up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Sony been censoring for a while now, dog. People haven't been speaking up about the shit.
No, I noticed the censorship when I played Gravity Rush, right? This will piss me off. In the original Gravity Rush, it was a fountain in Hexville, right? Where it was a dolphin and it was a turtle on top of that dolphin and it was a cherubim on top of the turtle. And the dolphin was shooting out water from the little blowhole. The turtle was spitting out water from his mouth. And the cherubim was peeing water. Typical shit that you would find in an art museum. You know what I mean? That's typical shit, right? And Gravity Rush 2, before they took it down in the servers, right? They patched that whole statue out. I remember perverted as me went under the fucking cherubim and had cat getting peed on. And I took a picture and I submitted it to the servers of PlayStation. This is back when you could review your pictures, and I got a lot of comments, funny comments on there. People were talking about it was R. Kelly and shit. It was funny. It was good. It's good shit back then. And then when they made the final patch, they removed the entire fucking statue. My problem here is the cap that's online. Why would you want that in your games? You didn't have a fucking problem when you were shooting people's face off in The Last of Us, did you? You didn't have a problem there. You didn't have a problem when she was getting doggy fucked and they showed them little ass Hershey Kiss titties, did you? You didn't care about that, did you? I didn't want to see that shit. I was offended. How can The Last of Us Part 2 can have realistic, so you can make the argument, right, that Mortal Kombat is cartoony, right? Which they use a whole ass anatomy when it comes to the skeletal structure and muscle structure. That's how they make the fatalities look real. They are fairly accurate. But The Last of Us isn't trying to go for parody or any kind of outlandish shit. That shit's supposed to be realistic. You stabbing bitches in their throat and blood is coming out. You shooting people's face clean off and it's just leaving nothing but nubs for a fucking head and then blowing people's legs off and shit like that. They even had a fucking golf club and brains in it. Brains on the fucking golf club, but for some reason you can't rip a bitch face off. That's too much. I'm trying to figure out the consistency here, Sony. Help me. Help you. I thought that game was sick. The Last of Us Part 2. For the type of shit that they had you do. Killing fucking dogs. I don't give a fuck if you were protecting yourself or not. You gutted a fucking dog, but then you have a problem with somebody's face getting ripped the fuck off. To me, I'm gonna need you to be completely transparent as to what the fuck you censor and what not. Really, I don't want you to censor the shit at all. If it's on everything, you should leave it on everything. Thoughts, Black, please?
Nah, I mean they should leave. I think they should have left it.
Just leave it.
Maybe because I don't know, bro. I don't like the fact that they went in there and changed the devs' idea. Like that was their vision, was to have that in there. They obviously work hard on that shit because the shit looked good. You know what I'm saying? You know, it looked really good. By the way, you know what I'm saying? Like the character model, it was a dead body. I think we don't know what was censored. People are assuming that's the part that got censored. Was the video with her face getting cut? But if that was it, I was like, man, they worked really hard on that shit. That shit looked pretty cool. I was like, damn, it made me kind of on edge, like made my fucking skin like crawl. And shit. I'm like, fuck, that's so fucked up. Oh, she just kept going. It looked like she was cutting it with a sharp rock or some shit. I was like, damn, that's nasty. But I thought it was dope, like the tech that they was using. You know, it looked good, but Just let them do what they do, man. I don't understand this shit. Like they won't stop these shitty ass fucking games from getting put on the fucking PlayStation Network, but they fucking censoring games. Like in some capacity, they looking at the games that's getting put on there. You know what I'm saying? But they rather censor some shit because I guess they feel like it's too mature or whatever the fuck. But they won't stop bad games from going on to the PlayStation Network. Like, they need to stop. Everybody needs to do that shit. They need to fucking go in there, review the games. Hey, this game is buggy. Don't put it on. Send that shit back. That shit need to work. Like, all this shit. Like, I hate to bring up Cyberpunk. I don't want to beat a dead horse, bro. But nobody stopped that game from getting put on the PSN, bro. And there's other games that fucked up on launch. You know what I'm saying? And
a lot of fucking games that was fucked up on launch. The fucking Grand Theft Auto shits. I didn't think it was that bad until a save game threw me through a loop of crashing the fucking PlayStation. You didn't take that off, did you, Sony? Oh, that made you money. That's what it was. And that wasn't going to be like, you know, people were going to play a little bit of it for nostalgia and turn that shit off. But there was such a crazy outrage for Cyberpunk and how their refund system works. And they were feeling the heat of that shit. So they was like, fuck it. I'm not going to just have these people buy it and take it back and buy it and take it back. I don't have time for this shit. We're going to remove it. So I get it in that regard. Let me throw another thing at you, Black. Sony's ecosystem is probably what they're protecting. I'm pretty sure that Sony started fucking censoring shit on PS3 days. PS3 days had a lot of censorship. Like PlayStation Home, you used to be able to have proximity chat and walk up to a motherfucker and talk. But then people were saying, I mean, you got some bitch on fucking Metaverse on the Facebook shit. Talking about she was touched in a fucking 3D environment.
Oh, man, I almost laughed at that. What the fuck, bro?
I'm being serious. I'm not lying.
Man, I can't do it, bro. Come on, bro.
I couldn't believe that shit. They gonna have her propped up on a chair with her legs crossed and her hands in her lap, like crossed over, like a cat. Yeah. Talking about she was touched in the metaverse.
I'm done, man.
How'd you feel it? Haptics? That's what it was. You know what I mean? So I'm sure they're trying to protect it. And it's kind of like movie theaters, right? You see some violent shit in movie theaters, but there's levels of shit. When you go to the Regal or AMC or whatever the case is, right? You can only do but so much or have you see. You can think of Sony's ecosystem as being like a theater, right? And it gets, for the most part, curated, right? But you can't have anything like in a movie theater like porn. You know what I mean? Like you can't go to Regal and just have a whole ass fucking BBW porn or whatever the fuck you watch. Because you can't, even though there's kids in that bitch, you can't have that shit just on the storefront or whatever the case is. So I get that they're trying to protect it, but imagine if that shit was like that, man. How popular do you think that shit would have been? Black. Yo, Black, where you at? Yo, Black, you still there?
My bad, bro. I got a little preoccupied. What was your question, fam?
I said, what? I'm sure that they use the fucking PlayStation storefront as like a whole, like, you know, like a whole place, essentially. Like when you turn on the PlayStation, this is welcome to PlayStation as if it's like Disneyland or some shit, right? So you can only have certain things in that bitch. Just like in a movie theater, you talking about Regal or AMC, right? You can only have certain movies in that bitch. Well, you're not going to find a whole ass fucking BBW porno in there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or Dragon Punch porno, you know? That's cold. I know you already know. But for people who don't know what that is, it's cold. But I was thinking, wouldn't that be crazy, yo? You put fucking a whole ass porno like the back of Regal or AMC. You know what I mean?
Nah, that should be a little disgusting, right? I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's like, hold on, do y'all specifically use this one for the porn? Because I don't want to go in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to have that shit on the other side, the dark side of the Regal. You know what I'm saying?
Because you know, the funny thing is, the funny thing is that shit would have been fucking popping. Nah. Not by me, but so human nature, yo.
But the sweatpants central and shit, nasty.
Yo, 4K. I'm gonna tell you something, yo. I went to Miami back in 2019, I believe. And I walked into an adult store like 9 o'clock. I had nothing else to do in Miami. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't really a partier and people were acting crazy in that bitch. I just walked up into one of these adult stores, wandering and shit, right? And the type of people that I've seen in this store, you would have never, ever made the correlation. I'm talking about people with suits and a briefcase, well put together.
Wow.
Bugattis parking in a grungy ass fucking adult store. The motherfucker came in there. He was like, "Hey, can I have $5 in quarters, please?" That's what the fuck. The fuck you want to do with those quarters? So, you know what I mean? They gave the person at the register, gave him quarters, and he went in the back. Before he went in the back, I stopped him. "Excuse me, sir. Why you need quarters?" He was like, "Oh, there's booths in the back." I said, "There's women back there?" He says, "No. There's a theater back there." I said, "I couldn't help you. You have a ring on. Why are you here?" Is what I asked him, right? Motherfucker was like, "I don't feel like fucking with my wife.
Damn.
She gets on my nerves. Now, if you excuse me, sir, I got a nut to bust," and he walked away. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure that it would have been popular. But I digress. The thing that I'm trying to say is, on one end, I can see that they're trying to protect the children. You remember they said that shit, right? They're trying to protect the children. Oh no. Make sure the children don't see this bitch get her face ripped off. But you can run over a whole bunch of people in Grand Theft Auto and shoot a bitch in their head and have the brains explode and slide off the wall in The Last of Us. Or you can punch somebody hard out in Mortal Kombat. Consistency, Sony. I don't know why they're doing this. Maybe you could shed some light on this shit, yo. That shit's fucking weird, my dude.
I really don't know, bro. I seen some people speculate that it's to protect the brand and all that bullshit. I really don't know, bro. I can't call it, bro. I mean, they don't want to be associated. I guess like it could be that they don't want to be associated with that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to avoid. They want to avoid the bad press and shit. You know what I'm saying? If there's any, but I just think it has to be some sort of shit like that, bro. It has to be to protect the brand. It's really nothing else I could think of.
What about Mafia? They were saying nigger, actually.
I'm saying like some things are acceptable. Is like where you draw the line at, though. You know what I'm saying? Like you want the freedom of creativity. You want the devs to be able to express themselves, but it's up to the company to draw the line. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I hope that
I feel like there was worse shit than somebody getting
than that.
If that was the thing, because we don't know exactly why they said it. You know what I'm saying? The devs.
That's fair enough. I mean, honestly, Black, I'm gonna need them. I'm gonna need everybody to stand up against this shit in general, because we already know there ain't no pedo shit that's gonna happen on consoles anyway.
Mm-hmm.
At least not in the near future, because the way that this world is going, everybody could be whatever they want. Apparently, you could be a fucking android. This one girl, she tattooed herself and called herself an android, and that's how she wanted to be addressed. So I can imagine somebody feel like they're 13 years old and they're 47. I mean, where is this line drawn? This fucking cancel culture needs to stop. I'm sick of it, and y'all need to fucking speak the fuck up. That's ridiculous. I get that they're trying to prevent themselves from getting sued, because people will just go on witch hunts without any type of validation or anything. It just be like, yo, it's possible that you could create a murderer. You're basically showing people how to cut a face. And I'm basically showing people how to blow a fucking head off when I play The Last of Us. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, I don't understand it. I take the sunlight off of anime characters, and there's not a light source over there. You know, yeah, like it's a bright ass light coming through the room and shit. You know, so I don't know. I just wanted to kind of get that out and just let people know that people can like Sony and still have a crazy ass fucking problem with, like, intrinsically with some of the things that they're doing. I don't like the inclusion shit either. Did you hear about the inclusion shit? About the Haven Studios? You sound like you underwater or something.
Oh my bad. Nah, I didn't hear about it. What happened?
So what's her name again? The Jade chick?
Jay Raymond?
Yeah. She was like, we want to foster a inclusive environment because let's just face it, we're playing a game and it needs to be for everyone. So I'm like, oh, this game gonna fucking flop, man. How many times do you gotta tell people you can't win them all, man? You gotta pick a side and draw that fucking line hard in that fucking sand, man. You can't win them all. You can't.
Yo, Leon, what's good, bro? Hey, Capo, what's up with you, bro?
We in there.
Cygnus, Poor, Hector, Philip, what up, what?
Oh, I didn't even see. Thank you for. We're about to wrap this shit up here too. Where? I don't see him. Oh, I see him.
What's going on, niggas?
Yo, we had niggas. Yo, we.
So stupid.
You know what I'm talking about?
So stupid.
How do you spell niggas?
Neegas.
He was a niggas. Can you say that? He was like, can you say that in a sentence? The niggas from Africa. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, what a beautiful Saturday.
Oh gosh, I know you said you were blocking me and shit like that. I know you playing, but let me just catch you up to speed before we get out of here.
Blocked.
But you understand, I wanted to play devil's advocate for all the Xbots that came out there and said there was so many reasons to get an Xbox. So I had an Xbot. Shout out to you, Fatal. I had an Xbot come in here and give me a reason to buy an Xbox. And you know what he said?
What did he say?
I can't give you a reason. I said, no, we're not. This ain't crumb side, man. Just tell me, like, what's your reason? And then he says, the infamous Game Pass.
So he wants you to go to Blockbuster, basically.
It's not even just about Blockbuster. I said most of the games in Game Pass is fucking multi-platform. What is on there? Well, it's objective. What do you think is good? I can't tell you what to like. I can't really give you an answer.
He just left?
He left.
Oh, so I must have came in when he left then.
Yeah, he been going. So the same answer was always going to be the same thing. It's always going to be the same thing. There's no answer. Why do you like Nintendo? Their IPs. They're pretty unique and, they got a swag to their games. You can't get it nowhere else. Why do you like Sony? Their IPs, the DualSense, the 3D audio, the user interface.
Pretty much the same reason. Yeah.
Give or take.
I'm speaking of Sony, as we speak, I just took off the top cover of my PS5 because I'm about to put my black ones on. So
man, shit, clean it. Oh, okay, you just doing that. You ain't cleaning it. I gotta clean out my PS5.
I did clean
this is a public. Give me a second. This is a public service announcement. Clean your PS5 that you have it. Use them dust catchers that Mark Cerny said. I went online. You know what they said? They were like, they were like, oh, you don't want to blow into the fucking system because you're going to just push dust into the system. Nigga, are you Mark Cerny? Did you build this system? What you talking about? You use a vacuum to pull it out. Nigga, he created dust catchers in this bitch so you can blow it the fuck out. What are you talking about, my dude?
Niggas just be saying anything, boy.
Just saying anything so somebody can click on your shit. Yo, get the fuck out of here, man.
Nah,
it's weird.
Huh?
Chico, I see you in here, boy.
In the vacuum. Sure,
what you say?
Ugly ass.
Wait, Chico in here?
What's up, Larry, boy?
What's good with you, Fully?
That's my nigga, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, but that all you need is like get you a little brush, like a precision brush, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? If that make any sense, and get you a small brush and a vacuum.
Yeah,
that shit work wonders, bro.
I just use the hose for the vacuum, but there's still a little bit of dust on that fan, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I'm gonna get a cloth and just
Oh, no, you can take it
Dust
out.
it off
Bro.
a little
Take out
bit.
the fan. That's what I did, bro.
I ain't doing all that shit. I'm
Nah,
scared.
it's not that crazy. It's like 2 screws, bro. I promise you, bro.
Oh, it is.
Pull out the whole damn fan and it slide right.
I should.
I need to take that fan out.
I'm scared,
Yo,
man. What's up,
you
nigga?
caught us at the tail end, man. I should have invited you, but I'm be thinking people be busy and shit. So I'll be like, I don't want to fuck people up.
Elder Barge looking at us, man.
It's all right because I've been playing. The museum boss for the last 3 hours, trying to reduce my age.
Like, I've been playing Sifu, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
He playing.
She real though.
I got my age down to 25 upon completing the museum.
I'm about to get high.
Yo, I wanted to get that game so bad. I probably want to either pick it up
I'll get it
today.
eventually.
I'm probably going to pick it up today or tomorrow, only due to the fact that I can't stand to look at. By the way, cheat codes in here. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but if you do, plug that shit. But like, this is streaming on YouTube as of now. I got a bigger following on YouTube, really, but not much. But either way,
it's still something, nigga. Don't ever doubt yourself.
It's still some. You ain't gonna ever get this personality anywhere else. You fuck. So anyway, we were talking about 2 different topics, cheat code. I'm glad you came in here because I wanted to ask you specifically, right, about this thing. And yes, I wanted to ask you specifically. There was a couple of people that I kind of reached out to, people that I was kind of looking at trends on their spaces and seeing if they're busy or not. I just deemed that I thought you were really busy. So I was like, I don't want to bug anybody. But since you're here, my question to you, we had a conversation about what makes Xbox unique to the point where you would get it. And I wanted to be sold on it, Xbox, essentially.
I mean, if I'm being honest, you know me, I own all consoles. And really, I believe that the true distinguishing factor is, and pretty much always has been, with the exception of a few consoles like the Wii, are the first-party exclusives, or just the exclusives. I think the most important thing ever is exclusives. DualSense is nice, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Yeah, it enhances the experience, and I love my DualSense, but it always comes down to the games. And what does Xbox offer?
Nothing.
That makes it unique. I mean, the Series X has a lot of power to it. At the end of the day,
it ain't showing it, nigga.
We'd be lying if we didn't say that it makes us scratch our heads as to why a single PS5 game can outperform an Xbox Series X game when on paper it's the most powerful home console ever made. But with that being said, most people use that shit for console war fanboy shit, because when we do see those differences, it's largely negligible and no one would even notice outside of being told by Digital Foundry. So what makes a PS5
We're talking about
unique,
a multi-plats, correct?
We talking about all the whole gamut,
like yeah, the whole gamut. So I would say this: like, what makes a PS5 unique is the DualSense. What makes the Xbox Series X unique as a hardware, it's just its power. And as developers learn to better utilize it and make the moniker of the most powerful console ever made truly come to fruition, then I still think we'll see that. But right now, I think really there's nothing that makes a Series X unique beyond its power. And then, of course, Quick Resume is a nice feature.
See, but here's the thing: Quick Resume doesn't work on all games, even though you can still throw it in there.
They need to fix some shit. They need to bolster it up. But truly, being completely honest, the only thing that truly distinguishes PS5 from Series X beyond DualSense are the games. That's really
there's the 3 audio that is just, you can just plug that shit in and it works without you paying for anything. So that's like an
that's nice
feature
too. And then of course, I mean, we could always point to software, but either of them can turn around and make some additions. Because right now, I think the Series X takes a living shit on the PS5 when it comes to sharing gameplay. Like, I can put it on my phone, I can upload it,
it's over now. You can put all that shit on your phone.
Well, Sony, I know, is rolling that out, but my app has yet to be updated. I don't see my PS5 captures on my PS app, so I heard it was being rolled out. I haven't got mine yet.
So if it does, then what would be like, for one of the things too, if you do like a lot of broadcasting, it's deplorable on fucking Xbox. You can't really. You gotta jump through a lot of hoops to make that shit stream.
Yeah,
There's so many layers to it, and it's just not friendly. Not only that, but like you can't record long lengths of videos or even do your little editing. There's a lot of little flourishes to make the PlayStation. It all adds up. But if you take away all of the stuff, it always will be exclusive content.
yeah. I
Whether
mean,
it's timed
that's what
exclusive,
I say.
What's
yeah.
up,
Whether
White
it's
Fox?
in terms of the power, you got whole ass engineers that are literally building the shit and telling you these numbers. See, the problem with the Xbox and its powers, those numbers, is that there's shortcomings in other areas that it is basically handicapping the rest of the other things. That's why the teraflops isn't really a number. And I'm just saying that it's already we're already going.
Mark Cerny already told y'all
It's already been a year, and we're still seeing the same.
Talent. I think it's a talent thing too. I mean,
that's what I would think
because
too. But yeah,
if they obviously, like I said, even on the Sony side, right? Arguably, nothing on the PS5 looks as good as Last of Us 2. Arguably. Some people might say Demon Souls, right? But at the end of the day, as these generations progress, we know we look at the swan song titles like Final Fantasy 12, God of War 2, or Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, like things like that. We know that as the console generation reaches its end, games take a shit on the games that launched early on. So we're going to see these developers learning to utilize things more effectively as time goes on. But right now, I think Microsoft maybe has a talent issue going on because
they've been having a talent issue, nigga.
It's like, why is it that I don't know? There's leaps and canyons right now, but I really hope and believe, I truly believe that the Series X, as the generation goes on, if they learn to properly utilize it, they could probably, really get their games looking to a point that are phenomenal. But at the end of the day, nothing on the Xbox looks like Last of Us 2. Gears 5 is probably the closest thing to it, I would imagine. But I mean, it doesn't touch it.
I mean, there's a lot of, when you look at The Last of Us Part 2, right? It looks good on the outside, right? On the surface level. But in terms of like the systems that they have going on, there's not really destructible environments or moving pieces where you can like move shit around. It doesn't have a day and night cycle. It doesn't have cloud systems. It doesn't have a weather system either.
Naughty Dog's next game about to be crazy, nigga.
Like a lot of things that they have in that engine, they can afford to put everything into the surface visuals. You know what I mean? Where other games, they have to work on this, like Ghost of Tsushima, right? You will look at it, the models are okay, but it's not anything near The Last of Us. But it is also an open world with different weather patterns and much more characters on the screen at once. You have a whole bunch of fucking blades of grass always and shit moving. You're trading power. I mean, you're trading things. Like if you want a game to look really good, then it has to be linear. If you want a game to kind of be like kind of balanced, you're gonna have some open world things like Horizon does things better. What do you call it? Then Ghost of Tsushima and vice versa and shit like that. So when we see Horizon Forbidden West to see what type of advancements they made software wise, I'm curious.
Look, let me say something, Josh, real quick, bro. Is that I slept on Zero Dawn, and I think I told you that a while back. And I'm playing it now, and wow, I kind of feel ashamed. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it still floors people to this day. Like
it's just like, why did I skip this game? And I think at the time, I wasn't. It just didn't really interest me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of the things there's like when you look at Naughty Dog games, they're story driven, and a lot of people kind of misconstrue story with quality as well. Like the story is in your face when it comes to Uncharted or The Last of Us. You don't pick up items and shit like that to the degree that you would in Horizon, because they have a lot more other things to worry about.
Everything like that.
So I wanted to say this. That's basically the net.
Josh, how when we talk about Xbox, we always talk about the future and potential and all this shit. But how confident are we that they're gonna actually invest, get you know what I'm saying, actually like truly invest into these IPs and give us something that we're looking for? I'm not
They
very
not gonna
confident
do that
in
because
this
they're
at
worried
all.
about Game Pass.
Like we seen scoring is coming, but does that game it has very high fidelity of graphics. I ain't gonna cap on that shit. It looked good, but it looked like it played like shit. It don't look like it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's either one or the other. Something's always missing. We keep getting these double A
These
looking
half-fast games.
multiplayer games on there. It's just Game Pass fodder, bro.
Let
There's
me.
nothing really coming. We always put in this. They always giving Xbox that. Oh, they got the most powerful console. Oh, it's gonna come down the line.
Mark
Oh, a patch
Sony
is
said
coming.
otherwise.
The tools are coming. Like fuck all that, man. Like
Like,
what
Yeah.
we still haven't seen the true potential of the PlayStation 5. But we always give them that fucking that what if that X factor to the Xbox.
I wanted
Yo,
to.
I believe that
That's
they
a good
tapped
point
that
this
shit the
nigga
fuck
saying,
out.
bro. It's a real good point.
I put bread on it that shit's tapped out already, bro.
Look.
And I'm not even capping. I put fucking bread on it because they brute force
That nigga
destroyed the
lyric,
whole
cuz.
architecture, bro. And that's real talk, man. I'll just say, every time I hear it, they always giving these motherfuckers the extra
excuses.
eggs.
It's always excuses and shit,
This
man.
is coming. I've been waiting since Xbox One, my nigga.
Yeah.
Where the games at, bro?
like
The
a
last
lot of times,
game was Forza Horizon 5 and Gears of War 5. Gears of War 5 looks beautiful. Now I can't even cap because it looks even better on my PC. So I don't know if it's the Xbox or not. You know what I'm saying? The last time I played that shit on my PC, that shit looked fantastic. Great work by them niggas. But like are we gonna get another level of game like that from them? I'm not too sure at all, bro. Honestly.
Look, I'm glad you say that, Larry, because I want to tell Enter Cheat Code this too. Is he said something about wait till the talent or something about Xbox pertaining to their games and the hardware. There's no excuse in my opinion because y'all niggas released a console 2 years ago and still you're not showing the full potential. PS5 has done that, nigga, with Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? And that's a cross-platform game, nigga. So there is no excuse for Xbox to not bring they shit.
So I guess the question here, Enter Chico, is I mean, I get it.
Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I don't make excuses for them. I think that
no, I'm not saying you are.
I think that this is unacceptable. But I do believe
that's what I'm saying.
I do believe that that things will come to fruition in the end. But
before you go on, give me 1 second. Let me dissect that little piece, right? Why do you believe that?
Well, I guess I'm hopeful more than anything because, as you know, I own all three consoles, and as long as these experiences are better across all platforms, then my gaming experience is better. I was a very vocal critic of the atrocity that was the Xbox One and the drought of first party lineup and even third party exclusives beyond Gears, Halo, and Forza. So I guess maybe I'm cautiously optimistic because I'm selfish in the sense that I want Xbox to succeed just as much as I want Sony and Nintendo to succeed and continue to get better because that just means my gaming experiences are better.
Well, that's what we want, but the more we keep giving this company the benefit of the doubt, when they don't have a history of this,
sure, but
they get excused.
Here is the one thing though, like, so I agree probably with most of your sentiments, but what I do see is this happening. I see that Microsoft was because I have to play devil's advocate right here because I'm in a room filled with Sony people and I take no sides. So I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit. Microsoft was very, very transparent about their strategy from the jump, right?
Yeah, they was talking a lot of shit.
They were transparent over the fact that they would not have Series X exclusive titles for at least 2 years or so. So they never misled us. They never lied to us about that. Sony on
so what's the point of owning the console?
Well, let me finish.
I get it. I literally have a YouTube video on my channel criticizing this strategy. I don't agree.
What is your YouTube channel?
Just enter cheat code. Okay. So I have a YouTube chat. I have a video criticizing Microsoft for this approach, saying that very same thing. What's the incentive for me to buy your fucking console? It sounds like you want to be a publisher, not a console seller. But with that being said, I'm gonna give Microsoft some flowers here. They were transparent, unlike Sony, right? Sony lied to us about GT7. They objectively lied to us. It was a PS5 exclusive launch title. Now, Horizon and Ragnarok, they intentionally misled us with the terminology they use with the whole "we believe in generations," but they knew what they were doing. Microsoft was transparent, so when we rag on Microsoft and say, where's the Series X exclusives, well, to be quite honest, they told us they would never be there for 2 years. And Sony's done a great job with their first year putting things out like Demon Souls, Ratchet, Returnal, which are all bangers. Also, now, while Microsoft doesn't have the homegrown studios like Sony, that takes decades. Sony's been in the game forever.
So have Microsoft. They
Well,
missed one generation.
No, two. Well, you're right. PS1, PS2, yeah, PS2 and Xbox One, or sorry, Xbox OG. But Sony's been doing this. Sony is the experts at this. They have a stranglehold over the global market, unlike Microsoft, who really has some share in South America. But at the end of the day, I'm going to wrap this point up. Here's the thing: Microsoft shit the bed on the Xbox One. There's no denying that. And what they're doing is they're opening up their fucking wallet and making some big money moves right now, because at the end of the day, everyone said, well, where are the games? Well, they don't have the fucking games, right? They don't have the IPs. So what are they doing? They're buying them all up. It's some mafia style shit, but that's what it's going to have to take for them to survive in this market to compete with Sony, and they're doing
That's
a
some
damn good
fucking
job of it.
panic buying.
Hold on, wait, let them finish. Let them finish.
Yeah. So this is their. You have to understand, this is Microsoft's only move, right? Is to buy companies. This is their only move, because building up these new IPs is risky business. It just takes a lot of time. So at the end of the day, Microsoft at least is making moves to try and be a better company. Now, I also agree the whole uh, give them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, it'll come, it'll come. Yes, I don't agree with that. Fuck that bullshit. It's time for Microsoft to start delivering. But at the very least, I can say that they're making some moves that hopefully this comes to fruition. But at the end of the day, Microsoft for me is in last place. It's just the way it is. Um, I, I I buy my first party Nintendo games, which is just an exclusive machine. I buy my third party multi-plats on PS5 because of DualSense, unless it launches on Game Pass, and I'm gonna pick that shit up on Game Pass for free. At the end of the day, though, my biggest motivating factor is where are the games and who's gonna do best for my wallet. Game Pass is doing a great job for my wallet. I'm currently playing Nobody Saves the World and all their first party lineups. But at the end of the day, Microsoft, for me, is the weakest offering right now, and I hope it changes, because I do have this $500 piece of hardware that I invested in, and I want to have some justification for using it more than 2 or 3 times a year.
So I'm going to say this, right? And I have one more question to ask you. First and foremost, we all made a lot of bad purchases in our lifetime, but I'm not going to justify or try to make it work because of a bad decision. If it's a bad decision, it's a bad decision. I picked up a Sony TV and had to take that bitch back, and I paid money to take that bitch back. What was wrong with it? The way their subpixels, the RGBs, was the way it was arranged and how the panel was made. It did not jive well with my fucking eyes, and it looked ugly to me. Everything looked like it was a screen door effect, and I took that shit back. Now, I do like Sony, but I'm not a fanboy, which is going to act, it's going to basically tie into what I wanted to ask you, the last thing I wanted to ask you. But I wanted to talk about how Microsoft continuously misled, and yet they get all these chances. When they said the world's most powerful console, and then changed it up to saying our most powerful console, that was a direct mislead.
Wait, real quick, so I have a point of reference here. What's the indication? Like, what is your source that you're referencing for this change?
It was on their website. I think legally they had to change it because they said it was the world's most powerful console, and there's many ways of actually quantifying power. Mm-hmm. On their website before the consoles were released, you can ask Thrash this as well because he has the archives, whether you like him or not. I'm not sure what's the relationship, but he literally has the pictures. He has the pictures of what it was at one point, and then it changed closer towards the release of the console.
Well, the reality of the situation is this. I mean, regardless of the semantics they choose to use, the quote unquote world's most powerful console should never be beaten by the PS5 in a single category. And while I recognize that it's mostly used for console war fodder, and most people wouldn't, like I said, even know because the differences are negligible unless Digital Foundry tells you. End of the day, I don't care if the loading time is 3 seconds. The most powerful console should outperform the PlayStation 5 in every respect.
Well, we're not talking about the semantics of which is more powerful. We're talking about being misled. That's what I'm referring to. I don't really care if it's a frame more
but
or
on
less.
paper, correct me if I'm wrong here, right? Because I'm not the most technical dude. But on paper, isn't it the most powerful console in the world with the 12 teraflops and all the BS, all the bells and whistles?
Teraflops can't be measured in that way. It's like, here's the thing: you can say you can say many things. You can say one thing in many ways, right? The thing is, we're now starting to see that whatever measurement that they made, they had to change it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do know. They changed it on their direct website.
I'll be honest. That's news to me.
Well, you can ask Thresh, and if
I'm not saying
if I get any information,
I haven't actually followed it too closely.
That's how. But this is how when it comes to misleading things. Now, things could change, but when you have a hardware and you believe that it's powerful, like when it comes to something that is so binary as chipsets, you know what I'm saying, and not release dates. If Gran Turismo was supposed to come out, there's always delays. If they thought it was going to come out and something happened, such as I don't know COVID, then it has to change, or else it's going to be a poor product. So I totally understand if that needed to be changed. Now, how would you define we believe in generations? Because that was a point of contention.
Okay, so I don't. It's a point of contention, right? And this is I love Sony, right? But at the end of the day,
I mean, you don't have to love them. It's just that how would you interpret it? Is what I'm saying. And it's not that like misleading. I'm just saying, how do you interpret it?
I'll keep it very simple. People like to whenever people refer to this and they defend Sony, they always like to say, "Oh, he's referring to features," and they take the quote out of context. But you have to look at the quote within the context in which it was made. And the quote was made in direct response to Microsoft's strategy of the ecosystem approach and Microsoft's strategy of not having next-gen games for the first 2 years. So when you take the quote in the context in which it was made, it was looking down on Xbox, saying, that's how they do it. But we believe in generations. We'll be pushing our putting our software PS5 exclusive. That's the thing. It was intentionally misleading when it came to Horizon, when it came to Ragnarok, and when it came to GT7. It was an objective lie because people always omit the context in which the quote was made.
You can't stop people from altering something. There was a whole thing other than people literally, we're talking about IGNs and the GameSpots. They cut that feature out, that piece of that statement, and then posted it everywhere else. That was on the media's end. Like if I were to take something, well, give me a second. If I were to take something that you said and just cut out the first sentence and ran with it, whose fault is that? It's because you paused in a statement.
Sure, but I mean, I've read the article though.
But if you read the article, he also stated what quantifies as next generation, whether it be a new way of controls or 3D or
features,
and they talk about features, but they didn't. Where was the lie is in that? Because they offered.
Hold on, I didn't.
You said it was an objective lie, is what you said.
I said it was intentionally misleading dialogue, but I said as it pertained to GT7. That's objectively a lie. As the trailer for GT7 came out, the reveal trailer, and it said PS5 only. So that GT7 is a lie. Horizon and
Could things change?
Sure, they can change, but
but if I told you, something, right? Let's say that we were supposed to meet up for brunch, and I was pretty sure, like 90% sure, that I was supposed to go there, and then something happens. I mean, would you literally call me a liar for missing it?
Whether we call it a lie or whether we call it misleading, whatever semantics we choose to use, at the end of the day, though, what they led us to believe did not come to fruition. As you mentioned, on Microsoft's side when it came to power, and just as Sony did as well. So whether it's a lie, whether it's intentionally misleading, at the end of the day, they did not deliver on what they led us to believe.
I don't see it as misleading when he had a whole statement and people took things out. Now, in terms of Gran Turismo, either that something changed. I don't think that they were trying to lie, but they were the first console to put out multiple next generation only games.
Okay, so let's talk about what changed then, right? So let's isolate the conversation at GT7 for a minute and say, well, what changed? Okay, the only thing that changed, maybe the consoles were constrained because of chip shortage, but what we know is Microsoft had laid down a foundation that they would be doing cross-generational games for 2 years. And then after the fact, Sony jumped on board with that with Horizon, Ragnarok, and now GT7. What changed is Sony realized that they were leaving money on the fucking table. There's 114 odd million PS4s out there. The only thing that changed is the fact that they knew that they were going to take an install base of 100 plus million and neglect it. And then they changed tune to make money. And I don't fault them for that, but I'm going to call it how I see it.
I mean, and I won't say that it's not about making money, but I will definitely say there's people's jobs in the line. And if your console can't be made quick enough, then you're wasting a lot of fucking money on it. I don't think it's ideal for anybody to just stay with an old platform and have to work on multiple platforms across 2 generations.
Sure. And I'm going to be honest with you, man.
That's a waste of money.
I understand why both companies are doing this. And
I guess my argument, let me just say this. My argument is this. In terms of, as a company is a company is a company. They all are trying to make money. What I do see is that there was a company that's consistent with producing things of quality that's not released halfway. You know what I'm saying? We were in a pandemic, and there's chip shortages. Yeah, we still are, and we are chip shortages every fucking where. The cars can't even be made. So I mean that's a pretty big circumstance. It's not like.
Let me ask you something, Gamecast, and this is purely speculative, right? Do you think, and be honest with me here, do you think that Microsoft going with a ecosystem cross-generational support did not influence Sony in the least bit to say, well, why the fuck are we leaving this money on the table? You don't think? Because here's the thing. I don't think if Microsoft would have done it, Sony would have done it. I think Sony is being reactionary to what Microsoft did when it comes to cross-generational games and the realization that they were leaving so much money on the table. And ultimately, consumers were already getting accustomed to it, especially on the Xbox side of things. You in good faith, are going to tell me that Microsoft going cross-generational did not influence Sony in the least bit to jump on this ship too?
No, I don't think so.
I can't believe it.
And the reason why I don't think so is because every single generation, other than I think the Sony's first one, there was a plethora of cross-generation games. It always happens. It doesn't change.
Let me rephrase my question just to make sure I understand your position. So you're saying to me, if Microsoft was launching only Series X titles from day one for the last 2 years, you still think Sony would have went cross-generational with these 3 games?
I will say this,
because I'll answer your question,
and I'll answer your question directly. Before all this popped off, right? Sean Layton mentioned that there was going to be some changes years before these consoles, a couple years, that people were not going to like. To me, looking at the plan that Sony has and how they lay things out, it looks like they have a definitive plan. It's not all over the place. It's very strategic as to what they're doing.
I mean, don't get me
So
wrong, Gamecast. You
I
might
think
be totally right, but I truly believe that if Microsoft was not doing cross generational and was only dropping Series X games, Sony wouldn't dare take the punch on the chin and say we're gonna do cross generational. Not the company that's known for advancing technology.
I think they still would, and the reason why is because this is the first generation, actually last generation. Actually, no, PS3 spilling into PS4 was the first generation where they started creating IPs that was worth something to that company.
But don't forget, God of War 2 launched on the PS2 when the PS3 was already out.
Yeah, I mean, but the way that cross generation games work is not the same as it was back then. You had a fully backwards compatible console,
Sure,
and it
but
was going to
let me
play
ask you
it.
this,
Period.
and I'm asking because I don't know. Historically speaking, has Sony launched first party cross generational titles?
Let me think.
Because I don't remember any. Because like I said, God of War 2 would have been the perfect way to do it, and they kept God of War 2 on the PS2.
They kept it on the PS2 for a couple of reasons. One, the backwards compatibility, and two, the cell processor was really irritating to work with. So
Well,
they would have to.
I actually read an interview with the creator of God of War 2, and he was actually pushing for it to be on the PS3, and the big wigs at Sony said, fuck no, you are not going to abandon this install base that has been built up for the PS2.
But then that answers your question. They were always doing things like that. So with the position that they would have put on the PS4 or on the PS5 is basically we don't want to abandon those people where they can't enjoy it. We don't want to force them to buy a whole console for this. They've been known to do that now in terms of PS because it's weird because PS1 it was their first console. So we have to look at PS2 and what game on PS2 that they released that was cross gen.
I don't know of any.
I don't think there was any because they really didn't make games like that.
And that's what I'm saying though. This is this is pretty uncharacteristic of Sony. So then when I look at Sony's entire history of a company and I see them making a move, now obviously there's nuance with COVID and chip shortage that I'll acknowledge, but when I see Sony making a move like this when their console counterpart was doing it first, it makes me think that this is reactionary.
No, it's definitely reactionary, but in my opinion, you were more on the money when it came to the chip shortages. That definitely played a big part in the cross generation. Their projection changed for the amount of systems they were going to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah. But here's
so
the thing.
I
think though I would say this though.
Yeah.
I still think because I hold strong to my position. I still think that despite the knowledge of the chip shortage, I still don't think Sony would have went cross generational if Microsoft wasn't already doing it and had already set a tone that forced fans to accept it.
Well, you already mentioned that God of War, the big wigs, they didn't want to make exclusive content on a newer console.
Well, the creator wanted to make God of War on the PS3,
right.
But the install base was too small. So they convinced him to stay on the PS2.
Who convinced them? The big wigs?
The top dogs at Sony.
So they told him to stay on PS2 essentially,
yes,
which was a right call then.
Against it.
That was a right call because they want to see their art flourish on something that could handle it. So an artist, of course, is going to want to have all the paint and acrylics and everything like that. Whereas if it's a money situation, then yes, that is the history though. The history is always driven by money. They've had a propensity to do stuff like this in the past because of the money and the user base. I don't think that it changed much. I think what they were, and the whole phrase of "we believe in generations," unless you have the other portion of that statement, that could be like we believe in generations because we're not going to abandon the other ones. Like we're not going to just drop it. We like the generations to be where they are. You know what I mean? We like to support our generations. It could
but historically, they have dropped. They pretty much have dropped support.
Who?
Sony.
When did they drop support?
when they started making exclusives for the current generation each time.
You're talking about. See, here's the thing. What ended up changing was the PS3. The PS3 made them into a different company altogether, and it's not because of Microsoft. It's because they wasted a whole bunch of fucking money to make the PS3, and then it didn't sell well. They had to be on their own merits. They didn't have IPs back in the day. The only one that was great was Gran Turismo. That was the biggest one.
Yeah.
That was their only one that they had. So it's not like it was like they were already making all these bangers and everybody was buying it. You can't really go. The only way you can go is really PS3. And that's when they started to make games with the help of Naughty Dog when they made The Last of Us and the Uncharted games, you know. And then you still can't even say that because, again, the cell processor in the PS3 is different from the x86 architecture. It's like you couldn't make it one-to-one anyway. It took some time to do it. I guarantee you, if they were both cell processors or both x86, they would have released on both of them bitches.
Yeah. Well,
I guarantee you would have.
At the end of the day, I mean,
they're companies. We'll never really deeply know. And at the end of the day, when it comes to third party, like cross-gen has always been there. And Sony just got their feet into gaming. Like they make their own games at this point in time and try to hit a certain quality. So it's hard to tell what's going on as long as it doesn't impact the quality of the game, because it's not too much we can do other than DualSense and 3D sound. What else can they throw into a game other than graphics?
I mean, it'll always impact the quality of the game to some extent, but we'll never know because we know that whenever you develop a cross-generational game, you'll always be hindered to some extent to the fact that you need
Can I say this really quickly, right? And there's just one more question that has nothing to do with this, right? That was the real question. How old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
You're in your 30s, right? Have you ever played the old Tomb Raiders?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Have you seen 3D games on the Game Boy Advance?
Not on the GBA?
Yes.
No. I mean, I don't really remember 3D on the GBA.
Exactly. I'm gonna DM you. Somebody spent the time and made the first Tomb Raider on the GBA in 3D.
Huh. That's interesting.
Which blew me the fuck out my seat. I couldn't believe it. And the way that they were able to do it is the software. They just kept manipulating shit until they got it. Now, here's the thing. Horizon Zero Dawn, they stated that they could not have flying mounts in the game exclusively because the hardware couldn't handle it. But then here we are with this Forbidden West, and it's in there, and we know it's in there. How? Is it in there? Because the hardware didn't change. Something happened where the software became more efficient and allowed them to do what they needed to do to make that happen. So it's really sticky when it comes to shit like this. It's like, yes, it could maybe in terms of like how much of an impact would it have been, I guess. And then you look at Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3. I just didn't think that was a possibility. To this day, a lot of games can't surpass that. 2 generations later, it's the ingenuity of a person. If they really want to make something happen, they usually can make something happen. You know what I'm saying? But like, here's the last thing. I wanted to let you know, if you don't know, let me just read the YouTube comments. Okay, so PlayStation has been out 6 years more than Xbox, and Xbox has never lived up to any of the greatness. I'm just reading comments. Consoles are always about the games no matter what the conversation, which is what we were talking about. Umar says these are games that are already built for the PS4 from the get-go. They were already working on GT7, by the way, and Forbidden West and God of War before the PS5 was released. They were already working on it, so it was an extension. So is Miles Morales. Killzone, Knack, Infamous, Second Sign, First Light, Drop Club, The Order 1886, and Until Dawn were PS4 only. I guess they were talking about the launch. There weren't any PS1 and PS2 cross-gen games for Sony because they didn't really make them really. Now we have to wait into Spider-Man 2. I would have released on both consoles also. They're talking about the business side of things for the next PS5 only games. Okay. So I just want you to let you know I ain't the only one. I mean, we're not just rabid fanboys. You know what I mean?
I just have to, if I hear it, I gotta push back a little bit because I fuck with all the consoles, but at the end of the day, man, I don't make excuses for Microsoft. They've been fucking up for a long time. Xbox One was a shit show.
Sony's fucking up right now too. That's the thing that's killing me. I don't like what they're doing, and that's what I wanted to ask you. Sony is really fucking up with this fucking censorship. What do you have to say about this? Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, man. I did watch the portion of the game that was removed, and I gotta say this, man. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I do think the scene is kind of gruesome. Even in watching it with my girlfriend, neither of us kept our eyes on the screen for the length of the clip. But I'll also say this: I don't think that scene is any more gruesome than the scene in Metal Gear Solid 5 where they're moving around organs in that kid's stomach to get the bomb out. You know what I'm talking about?
Or shit in The Last of Us or Mortal Kombat or just you know what I mean? Just I don't understand where the line was drawn. I don't get it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't understand where. I don't understand either. And here's my ultimate take on this. I could hear their justifications and I can understand them, especially because Sony, once again, has a stronger hold on a global market than Microsoft does, who's mainly existing in a Western desensitized market, right? But at the end of the day, my stance is this: unless it's some kiddie shit, you know what I'm referring to? Like nothing. I don't believe in censorship. I'm a freedom of speech guy. I'm even one of those guys that if you want to say racist shit, like you have the right to say it. I mean, you have the right to get punched in the face too.
Right.
But you're not free of consequences. But I am a true First Amendment freedom of speech in all forms kind of guy. So I don't support the move at all.
I feel like more and more people need to stand up on this. It irritates me. What are you saying, Black?
Oh, my bad, bro. I was talking to my wife. I know it's on me.
Yo, but Gamecast, I'm actually about to get ready.
Yeah, that was it. That's all. That's all I wanted you to. Yeah, that's all I wanted you to say, man. I want to see what was going on. Thank you so much for jumping in here. We gotta have more spaces together. I can jump on yours and yours mine. You know.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. Just let me know if I'm available. I'm definitely down. But yeah, man. Fuck censorship, and not even a Sony thing, man. In general, like fuck censorship.
Not even happy about it.
I want to talk about the censorship shit real quick, dog. I know you're about to close up, but it's kind of funny to me that Sony would step in on this censorship now that we're talking about it again, because I think the guys kind of touched on regions. Australia is like highly known for like blocking games from even coming to them based on their censorship. They have like just a countrywide censorship thing where games can't even come in. They get highly taxed and all this other shit. So like it's kind of funny to me that Sony would actually step in when a lot of these different regional countries they have their own shit that they take care of. So
there has to be something going on extra,
yeah,
but
it's something else, bro. It's kind of weird that they would step in on it. That's
but weird. I'm not condoning it. I don't give a fuck what reason it is. Let me just be clear. I don't understand it, especially when you releasing your own fucking games with extreme violence. So it's like what are we doing here? You know, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna make this known any way I can, any angle. I don't like this shit. Period. I don't.
Yeah, if you recall, Mortal Kombat 9 was totally like banned from Australia. You could not play that game in Australia. So I don't know what happened since then, but
yeah, do you remember? That Rockstar game Manhunt? That was
Manhunt was banned in mad places too. They were trying to give that shit an AO rating.
Yeah, I believe that was banned in Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
So let the fucking countries do it. If y'all don't want that shit on there, to me, it just seems like they're saving face because of the PC culture that we have now.
It's so funny that you just said saving face when the scene censored out is a face like being mutilated. And
Shut up! They trying to save this bitch's face. You ain't seen that shit get cut off. It was nasty though, but like I wouldn't have picked up the game. Just like Black won't, he don't like scary games. He won't pick that shit up. He's just not. There's some games you just don't pick up. He's just not interested in it.
Nah,
I agree. It's up to the consumer to be informed, and parents and the consumer to be informed about the things they purchase. It's not up for governments or even corporations to censor artistic visions. It's literally one of the worst things that's you can do. That's like dictatorship level shit.
But cheat. Here's the thing, right? The way we are at now, at this moment, these Gen Zs and some millennials, like late millennials, they are begging for the government to fuck me harder. Government. That's what they're doing. Like they want this shit to happen, and it's like it's funny because it's like I hate to be vulgar with it, but it is what it is. Um, they say, what about the children? What about the children? What about the children? That's your child. You parent your own child. If you don't want them, they're so used to giving them tablets and running away, right? You know what I'm saying? And they want somebody else to parent their kid. And if something happens, then they're looking around like, oh no, like my kid did this or my kid did that or whatever the case is. It's so like this world in US is so ass backwards right now. It's like don't objectify women. But then you have Meg the Stallion popping her pussy on stage at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, like in the middle, like, you know what I mean? Where kids are still the fuck up. It's just weird. All of this shit is weird to me. And I don't like it. I don't like it because to me, it's not a genuine, I'm helping the children out. It's, I don't want to seem like the bad guy. I want to be on top of things. So if somebody, and just the whole, what was the last thing I want to say? The whole thing about all these cappers. Why would you want to watch that? Why would you want to watch that anyway? Thank you, Sony, for cutting that off because I didn't want to see that. But you played The Last of Us and said it won 320 awards. Come on, dude. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think whether you are a Sony lover or just a video game lover or anybody, I think that people should speak out against censorship, and
every chance I get.
Sony actually has a record of censorship. This is not new. They I believe it was Doki Doki Literature or some shit like that recently got censored. I don't fuck with the game, but I think there was a scene because the kids are not explicitly called children, but because it's evident that they're children. I guess I shouldn't say it because it might be a spoiler for people that are interested. But ultimately, I know there was a segment of the game that was censored on Sony consoles, and that was just like maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
There was that one. It all started to me when 2007. There was a PlayStation Home. You were able to have proximity chat. And they censored that out. They were like, "Oh, you can't say this." You know what I mean? You can't because people were trolling. And then the more time went on, just certain things were even out or off the box cover or just weird shit. And I'm just over it. I'm over the fucking censorship. At first, I was like, I'm not sure who's doing it with the Capcom and covering the chick's ass cheek or covering with rays of light the anime girls like chest and panty line. And it just keeps getting more and more. And I'm seeing these simps for PlayStation just literally, I get that you're a fan, but let's not ruin our freedoms here. You know what I mean? Like call a spade, call shit out. I can't get down with it. You know what I mean? Especially when it's inconsistent, cheat. Like if it was
and the thing
across the board,
you have to speak out against it now because I don't give a shit about that game. I'm not going to play it. But at the end of the day, it's like when you draw a line in the sand, people don't give a shit about things. The famous quote, where people don't care about things. They remain silent until it impacts them. Yep. But like when the writing is on the wall about things in matters of real life or even this situation, when the writing is on the wall, you have to acknowledge it and step in before you can't put the cap back on that bottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, thanks, Chief, for joining in. I don't want to keep
I'm
you
gonna
any
I'm gonna
longer. I
jump
really
out of here, but
appreciate it.
you guys have a great night, guys.
You too. Yo, Ken, put the yellow ass hand down. What you gotta say?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to jump in, man, because I saw the title real quick. Just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there real quick.
Yo, he's still you notice how we took a break from the fucking PlayStation podcast. You know how he be always cut me the fuck off? And I'd be like, I'm getting ready to cut off the podcast. Yo, y'all wait, before you cut it off. You still doing it. Clean it up. I don't play it. Go on, man.
I was trying to be respectful, man. That's why I raised my hand, my yellow ass hand, as you say. No, I just wanted to jump in and say real quick, everybody sell your PS5s, man. Sony's trash. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation ain't got no games, no exclusives. You know what I'm saying? Just sell it. Get an Xbox, man. That shit's Game Pass. So that's all I wanted to say, man.
Turn it into a Switch so you can play Metroid Dread.
Hi, you see, your guys see how he's struggling to try to put. He's struggling to put it on fucking YouTube. Please Switch, put it on YouTube. I was like, this nigga, he's struggling.
No. You know what happened though?
No.
I tried to hook it up to my fucking my computer, my laptop, and it kept overheating. So I don't know what the fuck. Yo, YouTubers censoring my shit, yo. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, yo, it's funny. It's funny though. You want to know what's funny? You know, only from Sony where you could just hit a share button and it just works.
Yeah. But what about that censorship though?
I want to see somebody's face get cut off anyway. I don't want that in my life.
Yep. That's my message for the day. Get an Xbox. They ain't censoring shit. They got Game Pass for $1 or whatever. You could buy some Pop-Tarts and get Game Pass and play Halo.
I told you I found that in a box of condoms, yo. Like, remember that I was telling you about that one girl from the Mediterranean, yo, where she was like, "I want you to fuck my pussy." So anyway,
I want you to fuck my pussy.
I was like, this Tinder is crazy. Anyway, I dumped out the fucking condom. The Game Pass shit fell out. I was like, what the fuck? After you bust that nut, don't forget to log in on Game Pass. I'm like, no, we ain't doing this, sir. Yo, Black, why you mute your mic? Yo, what happened?
Black, what you got to say about that, man? Get rid of your PS5, boy. Throw that shit away.
I think I might have to hang it up. You know what I'm saying? Hang it up.
Clean it up. You said clean it up?
Throw that shit in the trash, man. Got no Horizon. Horizon's a walking simulator, man. Nah, man. We've seen that shit before. Nah,
and when Nintendo wants to put achievements and trophies though, so I could go over to Nintendo.
Yo, I'm being honest with you, yo. We need to start a petition, yo, and really, really like the censorship shit. Like they got to be caught.
Was that scene? The scene where they were cutting that chick's face off. Was that really like what they?
We don't know. We don't necessarily know. Something they cut out, and we don't know if it's that. They think it's that.
Mm-hmm. It probably is like low key, high key, low key.
So that's what I believe. Yeah. So I'm glad. Huh?
I forgot what it is. Somebody fucking a dead body. I put bread on it.
Oh God, man. Is that game out on PC already? Is it out already?
Into that shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be that Horizon Zone.
He was acting very familiar with that dead body, bro, when he was cutting her face off, bro. He was kind of comfortable. I don't know.
I know that was. Yeah, you know what I was looking at the whole time was the eyes.
That shit was lifelike, wasn't it? Or unlifelike.
I know, right? It's just like for
why did Chico say that shit, yo? Why did Chico say that? He was like, I was like, it sounds like Sony's trying to save face. You know what he said? He was like, I just find it kind of ironic that they literally trying to save her face from being cut and seen. I was like, shut up.
That would be ironic though if that was a scene that they censored from the game.
That's funny. That shit is funny, man. Yeah, I'm gonna play some games or whatever. Maybe some coffee.
Oh, so you're about to head out?
Yeah, I was trying to make it for 2 hours, and then all of a sudden, right, I was just about to get ready to go. Then you had King come in here.
King.
Ken.
Oh, me. Oh my.
No, not you. The other
Oh,
Ken.
are you talking about Leon?
Leon.
Oh yeah.
He gonna come in here talking about some. Yeah, I'm about to get high right now. I'm like, then he left. And oh yeah, Fatal. I'll tell you about that shit afterwards. Yeah, that shit was crazy with the whole Fatal conversation. That was crazy.
Yo, Fatal blew a gasket again. Damn.
Yo, what happened to Fatal?
Birdie burst the fucking blood vessel.
Yeah, I gotta tell you about that shit, yo. That shit was interesting, yo. That was real interesting.